McClellan. Batting 7th is the left fielder, number 12, Jake Thomas. Batting 8th, the right fielder, number 3, Zach Millett. And running out the batting order is the third baseman, number 6, Jaron Bradshaw for the Canyon View Falcons as they get ready for the Morgan Trojans. And they run Brady Anderson out there, not the all-star outfielder, but to the pitcher today.
I like that. Again, Brett, the pitcher for Canyon View. Again, tall, big lefty. Again, you want him to pound the zone and see if Morgan can put some bat on the balls and get some runners on base.
Yep, left-handed pitcher, of course, referencing the MLB All-Star.
Yeah.
Brady Anderson.
Yeah.
Nothing against this Brady Anderson.
Hey.
He's probably a better left-handed pitcher than that Brady Anderson is.
I think so.
So we get ready for today's game. Anderson will face the top of the Morgan lineup. It'll be Cameron Talbot, Canyon Leonelli, and Brigham Spence. If they get to the fourth batter here in the first inning, that will be Ben Harden as the cleanup hitter for the Morgan Trojans. Again, if Canyon View wins this game, they will have tomorrow off, and they won't play again until Friday night at 7 o'clock at right here at Salt Lake Community College. If Morgan wins this game, these two teams will square off again tomorrow at 7 o'clock here at Salt Lake Community College. So we could have a game tomorrow. We could not between these two squads. We do know that the winner of this bracket between Canyon View and Morgan will face the winner of Union and Manti as Union forced a game, the IF game. That'll be tomorrow at 4:30 here again at Salt Lake Community College at the 3A Baseball State Tournament. So everybody's trying to work through figuring out this new format. They're trying to figure out pitchers. And so whenever there's a format change or a rule change, everybody's trying to figure out how to work with it. We saw in, I guess it was your sophomore year, the year Gunnison Valley took state, the team you were on, that we saw coaches trying to figure out the new pitch count rule and how to go through the state tournament with the pitch count rule. Coach Jared Anderson, your coach and uncle, he did a masterful job here at that state tournament, and now we see here that everybody's got that part figured out. It's been 8 years. Okay, we know how to do the pitch count, or 7 years, and now with the format change, that changes how they try to schedule their pitching.
Absolutely. I mean, with all these new teams, again, this new format is very difficult to handle. And
first pitch to Cameron Talbot misses inside for ball one from Brady Anderson.
So all the teams are trying to figure out how to manage that, and going back to that 2017 year again. Coach Jared Anderson, the wise mind he was able to put together our pitching staff and be able to go win a title. And I'm excited to see what team in the 3A bracket does the same thing this year.
The 1-0 pitch misses upstairs to Talbot, so a 2-0 hitters count for the leadoff batter for Morgan.
If you're Morgan right now, you got to put together, early good at bats. Again, against Emory earlier, took them a long time to figure out their at bats. They can't have that against Brady Anderson today.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Okay, not a bad swing right there by Talbot. Again, like I said, against Emory, it took them a long time to figure out how to hit the Emory pitcher, but again, they got to figure out Brady early for Morgan to have a shot.
2-1 delivery, swung on, and a foul tip for strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to the leadoff batter for the Trojans.
You're seeing Talbot kind of swing at balls above his hands right there, a little too high for him. Got to see the ball down again with 2 strikes right here. Now you got to compete. Can't let Brady Anderson get settled in early.
Anderson sets. 2-2 pitch, swung on and a foul tip for Talbot to stay alive.
Yeah, that's a good piece right there. Again, just trying to foul off a pitch, get to the next one.
In the first game between these two teams on Monday, it was again a 3-1 ball game. Canyon View getting the win in that one. Beck Sheffield went the distance for Morgan, while Zach Millett went the distance for Canyon View. 2-2 pitch, misses high and away for ball 3 and a full count.
Again, as a leadoff hitter, this is exactly what you want. Again, make Brady Anderson work and brings it to full. Now if you're Talbot, you want him to continue to throw more pitches or get on base.
Anderson sets the deep breath. Here's a 3-2 payoff pitch. Misses high for ball 4 and a leadoff base on balls issued to Cameron Talbot for the Trojans.
That's huge for Morgan's ball club. Again, getting the leadoff runner on now gives you some opportunities to get the run around and score a run. Again, Talbot has 7 stolen bases on the year. Not a huge threat to run, especially with a lefty on the bump, but we'll see what Coach Stewart puts together right here.
Canyon Leonelli stands in on the right side now for Morgan.
Interesting, Canyon View's third baseman playing way in on the grass, playing for a bunt.
If I'm the shortstop, I do not like where that field umpire playing.
No, and he can easily go ask him to tell him to take a couple steps that way, and it looks like, well, maybe he's not. Again, you can tell him to move over a little bit, give yourself a little view line right there.
Yeah, anything hit to his right is going to get blocked by the umpire.
Looks like Asher Slide doesn't say anything to him, though.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Misses upstairs from Anderson for ball 2, and a 2-0 hitters count now for Leonelli.
You're seeing Anderson get balls above the zone right here. He's got to work down the mound, got to live down. Again, if you're Morgan, we kind of talked about it in the Manti Union game, the freebie war. Again, that is huge again in this game if Morgan can get, walks.
Next pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1.
And runners on, it gives them an opportunity to score runs.
So 2 balls, 1 strike. Leonelli stands back in on the right side. Talbot at first with no outs. 2-1 pitch. That's going to miss high for ball 3, and a hitter's count again for Leonelli.
As I look at Max Preps right now, Brady Anderson comes in with 25 walks to 37 Ks, so he will give you some freebies. Again, if you're Morgan, can you take advantage of that? And again, you're ahead in the count with a 3-1 right here.
3-1 delivery from Anderson. Misses high for ball 4, so back-to-back walks issued by Brady Anderson. And just like that, the coaches are out for Canyon View.
Yeah, right here, you're just going to go tell Brady just to take a deep breath, to work down the mound. But again, this is a great start if you're Morgan. A great start. Again, Brady's all around the zone. You're not swinging at those pitches. You're forcing him to pound the zone. Now let's see if Morgan can capitalize with runners in scoring position. Again, in the first game against Emory today, Morgan had a hard time, running the bases, got thrown out quite a few times. So let's see if they're able to run the bases better in this game right here.
Heads back to the dugout as the players return to their positions on the infield. Runners at first and second for Morgan. No outs here in the top of the first inning. No score. Brigham spins. The pitcher today for the Trojans with a chance to help out his own cause stands in on the right side.
Yeah, Brigham spins with a big bat right here. Can score a run for Morgan. Give him an advantage early.
Squares to bunt, pulls it back, watches ball 1 go by in the dirt outside for a 1-0 count.
Great block back there by Calvez. Again, not allowing the runners to advance. That's a great block. Having a catcher like that is so important to a pitching staff.
Calvez, one of the best. Definitely one of the best hitting catchers.
Absolutely.
1-0 pitch. It's going to miss high. Throw down to second by Calvez. Sails, but backing it up is Ludlow in center field to hold Talbot at second base. It's a 2-0 hitters count now for Brigham Spence.
Again, I like the idea by Calvez, but a great backup by Ludlow in center field. That ball gets by, and if Ludlow's not paying attention, runners move up, but it's good he was, and, no harm, no foul.
So Spence back in on the right side. 2-0 count as runners take their lead. Second baseman McClellan playing over in the 4-3 hole as they continues to square to bunt. Watches ball 3 go by as he pulls it back for a 3-0 count.
Again, way ahead in the count. If you're Morgan right here, you're not going to swing at anything. You're going to make Brady find the zone right here. He can't find it.
Runners take their lead. Leonelli at first, Talbot at second for the Trojans. 3-0 pitch. He squares to bunt, and there's the old automatic. Throw down to second now is not in time as Talbot steps back safely.
Again, right here, if you're Spence still, you're still being picky. He still has to come at you with a fastball right here for a strike.
3-1 count.
Again, I'm thinking one spot if I'm the batter right here, one spot and hit it hard.
3-1 pitch. That's going to miss high and away for ball 4, and Anderson walks the first 3 batters of the game to load the bases for the Trojans. It brings Ben Harden to the plate. He delivered a huge 2-run double last game.
Again, Ben Harden swinging a hot bat right now. This is exactly who you want at the plate if you're Morgan. But again, if you're Ben Harden, you don't want to be over-aggressive right here. Again, Brady Anderson's walked 3 batters in a row. Don't bail him out on stupid swings. Get a ball you can hit hard.
Anderson from the stretch. First pitch to Harden. Swung on, fly ball into left center field. Is going to get down for a base hit. That will score 1, and they're going to put the stop sign up for Leonelli at third, but it's an RBI single for Ben Harden, and the Trojans strike first.
I love that right there. first pitch of the at-bat. Again, Brady Anderson just tries to get over with the fastball for a strike, and Ben Harden takes advantage and rips a ball out into the outfield to score a run. 1-0 Morgan.
So it brings now Luke Bowerly to the plate. He stands in on the left side. He had a big game earlier today against Emory as well. So he digs in with the bases loaded.
Again, the sophomore batting .420 on this season. Impressive.
First pitch swinging. Fly ball to the left side. Goes foul and out of play. 4-1. And a 0-1 count.
Again, if you're Morgan right here, you gotta get these runs. You gotta capitalize on these early opportunities to score.
Again, the runners take their lead. Anderson out of the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on. Ground ball to the right side. It'll be fielded at second. Flip to second is in time from McClellan to Slack to get the runner out at second, but it's an RBI fielder's choice hit into by Bowerly. 2-0 Morgan. 1 out. Runners on the corners.
Yeah, ground ball hit a little too slow for the double play, but able to get the 1 out at second base. Run does come in to score. Still runners on the corners for Morgan.
So the 4-6 fielder's choice hit into brings Beck Sheffield to the plate. Anderson from the stretch. First pitch. This is high and away, ball 1.
Again, just off the plate right there by Brady Anderson. Just got to take a deep breath. Got to go at him right here. Limit damage. That's all you have to do right here if you're the pitcher right now. You got to limit damage.
The 1-0 pitch. That one's on the outside edge for a called strike. 1 and a 1-1 count.
It's a good spot. That's where Brady Anderson needs to live, on that outside part of the plate. Let Calvez frame some pitches for you, and that's where he needs to live.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the 1-1 from Anderson. Gonna excuse me swing. Picked up by Anderson off the mound. Hard throw to first for the out. Runner does move from first to second, but he held Spence at third with the play to Anderson for 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, it's a huge play right there for Brady Anderson. Little dribbler right back to him, is able to keep the runner at third. Again, you'll see a lot of times with young base runners, a ball hit right back to the pitcher. You'll see them break for home, not even thinking about it, but right there. Cameron Talbot's smart enough to be able to stick there, but again, if Morgan, that's not what you want, and see if they can score these 2 runners right here.
So at the plate now, Ryder Waldron. First pitch in the dirt, blocked by Calvez for ball 1.
Again, it's a great block right there. Again, if you're Ryder Waldron, you just got to take a deep breath and find a hole right here. Score 2 runs, be big for your team.
2 runs across for Morgan. They've got Spence at third, Bowerly at second. 2 outs in the inning. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on. Ground ball to the left side, fielded by Bradshaw. And throw to first is in time. They'll get the 5-3 ground out for the 3rd out of the inning. But Morgan strikes first as they get 2 runs on 1 hit in the inning. No errors committed by Canyon View, and 2 runners left on base. Through 1/2 inning of play, it is Morgan 2, Canyon View 0 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
I'm Dr. Brandon Beck, and I'm one of the general surgeons at Central Valley Medical Center. One of the best parts of my job as a general surgeon is to interact with a wide variety of people. And many of those people have experienced chronic conditions or painful things for many years. And there is nothing better than helping them to work through those conditions and to have an improved quality of life. I'm happy to be back in Utah at Central Valley Medical Center serving the people in our community.
As a parent, you never want to see your child struggling with suicidal thoughts. But today, the threat is hidden deep within their phones. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents, Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk?
We at Centricom want to help every family protect their children. Get Bark protection today from Centricom on unlimited family devices. Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Cape Field at Salt Lake Community College. Robert Lovell with you alongside at Ty Hill as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Morgan leads Canyon View 2-0 in this championship game. Again, if Canyon View wins, they move on to the state championship series. And if Morgan wins, they force the if game to have to beat Canyon View again tomorrow to move on to that state championship series. For Canyon View, they bring up the top of the order in the bottom of the first. Leading off, Bubba Ludlow, followed by Asher Slack and Cameron Calvez. If they get to the fourth batter, the cleanup hitter is Brady Anderson. And on the mound, Brigham Spence for the Morgan Trojans.
Yeah, if you're Canyon View with Trenton Ludlow at the top again. You know, my brother's not going to like hearing this on the radio, but Trenton Ludlow was able to hit 2 grand slams in back-to-back games against Richfield. So let's see if he has a little bit of pop right here.
Ty Hill, the brother of Richfield coach Drew Hill. And Ludlow watches strike one goodbye. Yeah, grand slam to end the game in game 2 of the Super Regional last week. 0-1 count. There's the pitch from Spence. One's going to miss low and away for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and Bowerly goes out to visit with Spence on the mound.
Yeah, just trying to touch base a little bit, get their signs right. Seeing the center fielder for Morgan play pretty shallow.
There's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fly ball down the right field line. Giving chase is Sheffield. Has room and makes the play right on the line for out number 1 and F9 for Ludlow. Fly out to right for the first out of the inning.
It's a great start for Spence right there, getting the first out. Again, that we talked about in the Manti Union game. Again, freebies. You know, got to win the freebie war. And again, as Morgan, you know, has to as Morgan attacks these Canyon View hitters, make them hit the ball. Make them beat you with their bats.
That will bring Asher Slack to the plate now for the Falcons. He stands in on the right side. First pitch swung on, ground ball to the left side, fielded by Talbot at short. Throw to first is in time for the 6-3 ground out and the second out of the inning.
Again, if you're Morgan right now, you're feeling really good. If you're Spence, you're feeling great out there. Again, that's 2 quick outs against a good hitting Canyon View team. Again, Spence comes into this game with 14 1/3 innings pitched with a 10.26 ERA.
Brings Cameron Calvez to the plate, one of the most lethal hitters in 3A. First pitch from Spence goes right past everybody to the backstop for ball 1.
Yeah, Calvez definitely gets his money's worth up there. Again, we talk a lot about with hitters. You know, early in the count, if you're ahead in the count, right, you're going to get your money's worth with your swing. You're going to take big hacks, and that's exactly what Calvez does. And when he connects, it goes a long way.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled to the right side, out of play for strike 1 and a 1-1 count.
You can see Calvez a little disappointed himself, just missed that fastball right there. Again, you can kind of see the power in his swing right there. Good, powerful swing.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first, 2-0 Morgan. Next pitch misses high and tight, 4 ball, 2 and a 2-1 count.
Again, if you're Spence right here, you don't want to groove something when you're down to the count 2-1, but you got to find a corner to get back even.
Spence out of the windup. 2-1 delivery. This is low for ball 3 and a hitter's count now for Calvez.
Again, if you're Calvez right here, you're sitting on one spot, and if it's there, you hit it really, really hard.
He's back in on the right side. Leonelli in center field is not playing real deep against him. 3-1 pitch, swung on, hard ground ball, foul to the left side for strike 2 and a full count.
Again, you're seeing right now Morgan's coaches trying to tell his center fielders to deepen up and go to the pull side, because you can definitely tell Calvez is trying to pull the ball.
So Leonelli does back up a little bit and slide to the left center field, while Jones in left guards the line. So out there on an island is Sheffield in right. Full count. 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first. The payoff pitch from Spence to Calvez. This is outside for ball 4, and Cameron Calvez will draw the 2-out base on balls. He heads the first. And looks like they will bring on a speed-up runner, Will Canyon View. Trying to catch the number. Looks like number 7, I believe. Kenan Williams will come out to run for Calvez.
It's a good at-bat by Calvez, getting a base runner. Now let's see if Canyon View can manufacture a run right here. Got to get a run on the board right here if you're Canyon View.
Brady Anderson will stand in on the left side, trying to help out his own cause here.
Brady Anderson comes into this game with a 405 average. Again, big, powerful lefty right here.
Williams will take a lead at first base, about a 2-step lead. Spins for the first time working from the stretch. First pitch misses up for ball 1.
You know, Robert, I think this might be the battle of the 2 best uniforms we've seen all day. I love Canyon View's, their pinstripes they got going on, and Morgan's creams. They look very, very nice.
Yeah, I just wasn't a fan of Emery's pants.
Yeah, they
didn't do
weird.
it for me.
Yeah, they looked funny.
Here's the 1-0 from Spence. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 count.
Again, if you coach Stewart, this is exactly what you want. Again, Spence just attacking the zone, letting his defense make plays. He's only 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning with 2 outs. Only 1 pitch away.
Throw over to first, not in time as Williams dives back safely. So Anderson back in on the left side. Williams a 2-step lead at first base. Spence sets. The 1-1 swung on, fouled back to the screen for strike 2 and a 1-2 count.
Canyon View is not a team really known for stealing bases. They're normally just manufacturing runs with their bats. Only comes in with 42 stolen bases as a team on the season, which is crazy to think about. The Stilson kid earlier who had 42 at the end of the game himself.
At least 4. I think
40?
it was 40, yeah.
Crazy.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball right back up the middle, fielded by Spence. The flip to first is in time for the 1-3 ground out. And the 3rd out of the inning, the Falcons get a runner on, but they do not score. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base through 1 inning of play. It is Morgan 2, Canyon View 0 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
Embark on your journey to radiant skin with Sam Pete Skin Bar. Whether you are looking to address specific skin concerns, kickstart your skincare routine, or simply indulge in relaxation, we've got you covered. Facials, microneedling, seasonal chemical peels, and more. Located at 210 West Main Street in Mount Pleasant, Utah. Visit our website at sampeteskinbar.com or call or text 435-314-6024 to book your appointment today.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
To the top of the second inning we go. 2-0. Morgan leads Canyon View here at the 3A Baseball State Tournament with the 8, 9, and 1 batters coming to the plate this inning for the Trojans. George Jensen, Triker Jones, and Cameron Talbot. If they get to the 4th batter, that is Kenyon Leonelli. Brady Anderson on the mound for Canyon View. First pitch swinging by Jensen. Pop flight on the right field line. And it will land foul just out of the reach of the diving first baseman, Zach Main.
Love the effort by the first baseman right there. But that's huge for Brady Anderson to start off the inning with a strike. again, kind of really struggled to find the zone in that first inning. Got to come back and find the zone here, and that's a good start.
So it'll be an 0-1 count for Jensen. He comes back in on the right side. The 0-1 pitch swung on. Fly ball into right center field. Drops in for a base hit. Picked up by Ludlow, but a leadoff single for George Jensen and the Trojans.
It's a good little poke right there to the opposite field, right? They're not trying to do too much, putting the bat on the ball. Morgan's came to play tonight.
Triker Jones takes the sign from Coach Stewart down the third baseline, and he'll stand in on the right side.
Again, you're seeing Candy View's third baseman play way in, planning on a bunt right here. He'll square to bunt, drop it on the third base side, picked up by Bradshaw at third. Throw to first is in time for the sacrifice bunt by Triker Jones to move George Jensen to second base. Yeah, it's a great execution right there. It's a great team play right there, able to lay a bunt down, way to execute. I think that's the first bunt we've seen executed extremely well today, able to move the runner over, bring the top of Morgan's lineup.
I feel like I've seen more bunt attempts this year as a whole, and I've seen way more not work.
Exactly. I think the art of bunting has really deteriorated in today's game.
Cameron Talbot stands in on the right side now for Morgan. First pitch from Anderson, swung on, high fly ball to deep left. Thomas going back on a run. He's not going to get there as it hops over the wall. It will be a double for Cameron Talbot, an RBI ground rule double as Jensen scores from second, 3-0 Trojans.
Yeah, great piece of hitting right there by Cameron Talbot. Way, way up in the air, but able to just carry for a ground rule double. 3-0 Morgan.
So that'll bring Canyon Leonelli to the plate with one out and runner on second.
Again, kind of like in the Manti-Union game earlier. I don't know if Canyon, if you really expected this amount of fight out of this Morgan Trojan squad, and they're here to play. They're here to play.
They're down to the final four teams are the Trojans. Figure why not make it the final two? Leonelli walked in his first plate appearance and came around to score. First pitch, big swing and a miss, strike one.
I love that swing by Leonelli right there. Try to get your money's worth on an 0-0 count. Try to hit the ball really hard. Now you fall behind in the count maybe. Maybe shorten it just a tad bit. But still got to put a ball in play.
Look at second by Anderson. Another look. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two, another big swing.
Yeah, chased the ball up and wasn't able to make contact. Now you got to shorten up your swing. Down 0-2. Got to widen your feet, choke up on the bat a little bit, just a little poke. Try to find a hole.
Anderson from the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. It's going to miss low for ball one and a 1-2 count.
Yeah, it's a good take right there by Leonelli. Again, it's really easy to chase those pitches down, but Leonelli smart enough as a hitter to let that go. Again, you're seeing Morgan's dugout get really into it, doing a little shaking the hat action, looks like, trying to get that running. Again, talked about it earlier. Dugout energy is huge in a state tournament.
1-2 pitch, check swing, run around, strike three. Leonelli will go down swinging for the second out of the inning and first strikeout of the game for Brady Anderson.
Yeah, good pitch right there by Anderson, making Leonelli reach out for that ball. Little check swing, but broke the plane right there, and 2 outs. Again, Candy View just needs one more get out of the inning.
Brings Brigham Spence to the plate for the Trojans. He stands in on the right side. First pitch in the dirt outside for ball one.
Again, another tremendous block by Calvez behind the plate to keep the runner at second base. Again, if you're Spence right here, you want to help yourself out by getting this run across.
So 1-0 count, 2 outs, runner on second. 1-0 pitch. Misses up and away for ball two. Hitters count now for Spence.
Yeah, must have just been off the plate right there. Again, Morgan finds themselves in another good hitting count, up 2-0 in the count.
Anderson sets, 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike one.
You know, you don't love that if you're Coach Stewart right there. Again, Morgan batter kind of chasing that ball up there. Again, there's no need to chase when you're up 2-0, but now it's 2-1 count, still ahead. Again, Brigham Spence will get his money's worth at the bat right here.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. On the outside edge, strike 2, 2-2 count.
You know, the pitch before, why that's such a huge thing for Canyon View, for him to chase that pitch instead of it being 3-1, it brings it to a 2-2 count.
Defense playing pretty well straight up against Spence. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch from Anderson. Swung on and fouled back out of play as Spence battles.
Again, Spence lives to see another pitch, just fouling off balls. That's all he needs to do, and then again continue to compete. See if you can get this count back to full. See if you can get the count full.
Count remains 2-2. He's back in on the right side. Anderson sets. Takes a breath. The 2-2 just misses the batter inside ball 3, full count.
Yeah, Spence jumps out of the way right there, brings it to a full count. Again, if you're Spence right here, you're sitting on that fastball, trying to be on time.
Runner at second is Talbot. After hitting a ground rule double, he takes his lead, 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, high pop up in the infield. Anderson calls for it off the mound and makes the play for out number 3. So a P1 for Spence. Pop up to the pitcher for the 3rd out of the inning. But Morgan adds to their lead. They get 1 run on 2 hits in the inning. No errors committed by Canyon View, and 1 runner left on base through 1.5 innings of play. It's Morgan 3, Canyon View 0 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
For more than 3 decades, the Intermountain Power Project has served as a model of regional energy cooperation, generating and transmitting coal-fueled electricity to a diverse group of municipal utilities and rural electric cooperatives with operations across 6 U.S. states. Now Intermountain Power is expanding its role as a regional energy hub, including utilizing renewable energy resources. Intermountain Power is proud to support and invest in our central Utah communities. Visit IPAUtah.com to learn more about IPP Renewed.
Jones & DeMille Engineering was founded in 1982 with a simple mission: to shape the quality of life where we live, work, and play. We are proud to serve by providing clean water, increasing access to nature and recreation, protecting homes from flooding, designing safe wastewater systems, and connecting our communities. It is our goal to create a place where people want to live, work, and enjoy life. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Welcome back here to Cape Field at Salt Lake Community College as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Morgan leading Canyon View 3-0 in this 3A baseball state tournament game. And the Canyon View Falcons bring the 5, 6, and 7 batters to the plate. Zach Main, first pitch swinging, flies out to center field for out number 1 and F8 for Main. He'll be followed by Chandler McClellan, then Jake Thomas. If they get to the 4th batter, that is Zach Millett for the Falcons. These 3 runs given up by Canyon View in these first 2 innings tie what they gave up against Emory in the full game yesterday, and 2 more than they gave to Morgan in game 1 on Monday.
Exactly. I think Morgan's really brought their bats and came to play today.
There's the first pitch. Swung on, ground ball, just fouled on the third base side for strike 1 for McClellan.
You know, I saw between innings, Coach Jacobson, longtime coach at Canyon View, brought his team together to try and rally the troops. Again, you just got to remind your players it's still early. Still way early in the ballgame, so there's plenty of time to get those runs back, but you can't wait. You can't wait to get those runs back in the 6th and 7th. You have to do it now.
So 0-1 count. 1 out, nobody on base. The pitch from Spence. Swung on, ground ball to the left side in the hole. Diving stop by Talbot at short. Throws across the diamond, but not in time. An infield single for Chandler McClellan gives the Falcons their first hit of the game.
McClellan does his job right there by getting a base runner on. Again, doesn't hit the ball too hard, just finds a hole and able to beat the throw out and give Canyon View a base runner.
So that'll bring Jake Thomas to the plate now for the Falcons.
Again, for Canyon View, got to string some hits together.
Morgan coaches directing their outfielders. A throw over to first is not in time as McClellan dives back safely.
Again, Jake Thomas, the junior, comes into this game with a .222 average. So if you're Spence, you want to attack him right here.
McClellan with a two-step lead at first. First pitch to Thomas, misses inside for ball one.
It's a great spot for Spence. Just missed off the plate on the inside part. Can't get frustrated. Got to get back on the mound and continue to attack the zone.
Again, taking a lead at first is McClellan. It's the 1-0 pitch. That will miss inside for ball two, and a 2-0 hitters count to Thomas.
Again, if you're Thomas right here, got to be unselfish. Got to be a team player right here. Don't swing at a pitch outside the zone. Way ahead. Get a ball you can hit hard.
No sign given down the third baseline. Thomas back in on the right side. 2-0 delivery. Drops up. Caught the call to strike for strike one and a 2-1 count.
Yeah, still on the inside part of the plate, but able to catch the plate this time and makes it a 2-1 count.
So 2 balls and a strike to Thomas. McClellan a two-step lead at first. 1 out in the inning. Runner on first. 2-1 pitch. This is low and in, 4-3 and a 3-1 hitters count now for Thomas.
Again, if you're Thomas right here, you're still way ahead in the count. You're still sitting on one spot, one pitch right here to drive a ball. And if it's not there, you take your walk.
McClellan off the bag at first. Got a 2.5-step lead. Spins from the stretch. 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Big swing, but a high pop up in the infield. Talbot calls for it at shortstop and makes the play behind third base for out number 2. A P6 for Thomas. Pop up at the shortstop for the second out of the inning.
See Coach Jacobson frustrated right there at that swing on a 3-1, way ahead to swing at a ball up above your hands just to pop up out. You can see he's a little frustrated with his team right now.
So that'll bring to the plate Zach Millett now for the Falcons. He stands in on the right side. Again, McClellan on first, takes a lead. First pitch for Millett. Right down the middle, strike one.
And Zach Millett, the Utah State Eastern commit right here. See if he can help his team out right here with the bat.
McClellan a 2.5-step lead at first. That pitch goes behind Millett. Great job by Bowerly to keep it in and not allow McClellan to take second base.
Yeah, that's a tremendous job by Bowerly right there to knock that ball down with his glove. Just has to reach behind the batter right there to knock the ball down, to not allow it to go to the backstop and let the runner advance. It's a great job.
1-1 count. The pitch from Spence. Misses inside for ball two.
Again, that's a tremendous spot if you're Spence. You're not missing by much. Just on the inside part of the plate, you want that call. But Spence is pitching really, really well so far.
2 balls and a strike with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Morgan leads Canyon View 3-0. Falcons have a runner on first. 2-0 from Spence. Misses low and in, 4-3 and a 3-1 hitters count.
Kind of see Canyon View pull a page out of Manti's book right there with a fake steal. I don't know if that affected that throw from Spence at all, but again, Canyon View not a huge base running team. Don't steal a lot of bases.
Again, Spence comes set. The 3-1 pitch. Swinging a foul tip for strike 2 and a full count. Or did he not tip that one?
Umpire didn't make a signal.
The way that ball came down through the legs of Bowerly, felt like it had to be fouled, and Coach
like
Stewart's out of the dugout asking the same question.
Looked like a foul ball to me. Again, kind of looked like it kind of went off his bat right to the backstop. I don't know.
They are going to ask the home plate umpire to visit with the first base umpire.
See first base umpire talking to the Canyon View coach right there. But now he's coming to meet with the home plate umpire.
They're just going to call it a swing and a miss. So strike 2, full count. Just the way the ball dropped.
I was going to say, it looked like a foul ball from our vantage point.
Yeah. But ruled a full count. Or swing and a miss, excuse me, to allow McClellan to take second base on the pass ball. So Spence comes set. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into left. Jones is there and makes the play for out number 3. So an F7 for Millett. Fly out to left for the third out of the inning as the Falcons threaten, but they do not score. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Through 2 complete. It's Morgan 3, Canyonview 0 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the TurboMax engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now.
Get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Are you a new CDL license holder? If so, Barney Trucking would like to train and pay you to become a world-class truck driver on state-of-the-art equipment. They also provide you with reliable, courteous support, a fantastic wage, paid holidays, solid benefits, home daily schedules, paid time off, an excellent safety record, and respect. Dependable truck drivers have been Barney Trucking's #1 investment since 1947. Start your outstanding career by applying today at barneyjobs.com. barneyjobs.com.
To the top of the third inning we go here at Salt Lake Community College with Morgan leading Canyonview 3-0 here in the 3A Baseball State Tournament. And the Trojans will bring to the plate the 4, 5, and 6 batters, Ben Harden, Luke Bowerly, and Beck Sheffield. If they get to the 4th batter, that'll be Ryder Waldron. Brady Anderson on the mound for the Falcons.
Again, Ben Harden, big, strong kid, big, powerful swing. Let's see if we can get a hold of a ball, send it into a gap.
First pitch from Anderson. Not sure where that one missed. Must have been low.
Must have been low. That looked really good from our vantage point again. Brady Anderson kind of struggled through first 2 innings. Let's see if he can have a clean one here in the 3rd.
There's the 1-0 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Harden.
Yeah, Harden just way ahead of that pitch right there. Again, just needs to sit in his legs, sit a little bit, drive a ball the other way.
So he stands on the right side, does Harden with a 1-1 count. Curveball stays upstairs for ball 2 and a 2-1 count now to Ben Harden.
Again, those are dangerous pitches with curveballs high. Again, those are usually pitches that get hit to the moon. Brady Anderson gets bailed out on that one.
Left on right here. 2-1 delivery from Anderson. Misses high and away for ball 3 and a 3-1 hitters count.
Getting a good hold right there by Ben Harden. He wanted to go after that, but being able to be disciplined, to hang back and let it become a 3-1 count.
Again, working out of the stretch is Anderson. Prefers the stretch with nobody on base. The 3-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Again, if you're Harden right there, you really bailed Brady Anderson out, swinging at a ball above the zone. Brings it to a full count for Brady Anderson. See if you can take advantage and put him away.
He's back on the right side as Harden. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Just low for ball 4, and he'll draw the leadoff base on balls.
That must have been a little low. That looked really, really good pitch. Again, if you're Ben Harden, that's too close of a pitch to not swing it on 2 strikes, but lays off and gets rewarded with a walk.
Yeah, I think the umpire even flinched toward calling the strike, and then didn't. So runner on base for the Trojans with Luke Bowerly at the plate. Sophomore catcher for the Trojans. First pitch swinging, fouls it back out of play for strike 1.
Again, Luke Bowerly doing really well behind the plate in these 2 games today. Let's see if he can put a ball in play, move the runner over. Again, Morgan's doing the same thing that Union did against Manti. Again, putting together good quality at-bats, just competing.
1 catches the outside edge for a called strike 2 and a 0-2 count.
Good pitch right there by Brady Anderson on the outside part of the plate, brings it to 0-2. Let's see if Burley can do something with 2 strikes.
2-step lead over at first base for Hardin. Curveball misses upstairs for ball 1.
Again, like I was saying earlier, this Morgan team has a different feel to them than I would imagine Canyon View. It's a different team than Canyon View faced a few days ago. This Morgan team's competing, putting together really, really good at-bats.
1-2 pitch. Foul tip. Kicks out in front off the leg of Bowerly as he stays alive in the at-bat.
Yeah, those don't feel good right there, Robert.
No, they
those
don't.
hurt.
So 1-2. The count remains. Next pitch swung on, ground ball back up the middle. Slack fields it, bobbles it at short. Throw to first is not in time. Bowerly reaches on the air, and 2 on with no outs now for the Trojans.
Again, that's Asher Slack just getting a little too ahead of himself. Again, got to get the ball in the glove first before you can do anything with it. It goes too fast. Again, doesn't get any outs. Runners on first and second. Nobody out for Morgan. Again, Morgan has all the momentum right now.
So that brings to the plate Beck Sheffield for the Trojans. He stands in on the right side. He'll square to bunt. Pops it back foul to the screen for strike 1.
Again, squared really late right there. Wasn't able to get the bat head in front of the plate right there. Ends up fouling it off. Again, if you're bunting the ball, you want the bat head to be angled up so the ball goes down instead. The barrel was flat or even down, cause the ball to go pop up foul.
Anderson checks the runners. The 0-1 pitch as he squares to bunt again. They're going to backdoor to second base. Nearly dove right into the tag, but Slack couldn't quite hold on to the baseball as sliding back in safely is Ben Hardin.
Who has a really, really close play right there. Again, Calvez with a really strong arm behind the plate.
Back in on the right side is Sheffield with a 1-1 count. He squared to bunt on the first 2 pitches. Does again here. Right back to Anderson on the mound. He's just going to turn and go to first. Does get the out at first base for the 1-4 bunt ground out. I think he had time to go 1, go 3, especially as a lefty, but chose to just go 1 with it.
Yeah, could have got the out at third right there, but decides to take get the out at 1. Again, so now there's 1 out, runners on second and third. But again, that's another executed, bunt for the Morgan Trojans, putting themselves in another position to score more runs.
Yes, it is, as they move the runners over on the sacrifice bunt. 1 out in the inning, and Ryder Waldron coming to the plate. First pitch, misses high and away, ball 1.
Umpire zone's a little tight right now. If you're Brady Anderson, you really want that. If you're Canyon View, you really want that. Again, if you're Coach Jacobson, you might get a little frustrated right here with the umpire, but.
First pitch in the dirt, blocked by Calvez for ball 2, for a 2-0 count.
But regardless, that's something you can't control as an umpire's zone. You just got to, if you're Brady Anderson, you got to keep competing and keep putting a ball in play. Canyon View brings their infield in to cut a runner down at home.
2-0 count. Next pitch from Anderson in the turf inside for ball 3.
Can you see Calvez looking down to the bullpen, trying to think if Coach Jacobson's going to send somebody down there to warm somebody up?
3-0 count. Infield in on the grass. 3-0 from Anderson. Caught the inside edge with whole automatic for strike 1.
Yeah, that's a good take right there by number 4. Again, that's not a ball. Again, it's 3-0 count. You're taking automatically, but you're not trying to drive. You're not going to hit that pitch very hard. Still way ahead. Going to get that pitch down the middle right here.
3-1 pitch. Foul ball to the right side for strike 2 and a full count now to Waldron.
There it was, and he just wasn't prepared. Was really late on it. Fouled the ball off, but again brings it to full. Still has an opportunity to put a ball in play to score a run. Again, for Morgan, these 2 runs are very, very big for your team.
Coach Jacobson out of the dugout.
See Brady Anderson really frustrated.
Talking to his teammates as they work their way in towards the mound.
Again, kind of like with Jueb earlier, you kind of see the mental screws kind of falling off. And again, as a team like this, you can't, if you're one of the top teams in the tournament, when you're facing a team like this, it can be frustrating because you feel like you're supposed to be dominating this game, but I mean the opposite has happened so far, and it's very easy to get mentally broken. You can see Brady Anderson kind of throw his mitt as he walks into the dugout. You know, as Morgan, if I'm Morgan right now, I feel like I got him. Like, I am in a great spot. I've broken this team. You know, I feel like that's what Union did to Manti earlier. I feel like that's what Union did to Juab earlier. Let's see if Morgan can take advantage of Canyon View's mental weaknesses right now.
He will leave at 59 pitches. I mean, the reason he's leaving with the full count is to make it so that as long as Canyon View gets to the best of 3 championship, he would be available on Friday as a result. So he can pitch Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's a different. I think it's also that these kids don't understand that if they make the championship game, it's still a best of 3 series. It isn't just how it normally is. And
right.
You know, I think Brady Anderson again is just frustrated with himself that you know you're expecting to come out and you want to take the day off, but so far everything things haven't gone your way. And
we'll take a short 30-second break with the pitching change here for the Falcons. Morgan leads Canyon View 3-0 in the top of the 3rd inning with 2 on for Morgan and 1 out here on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
Expecting a bundle of joy? Beaver Valley Hospital's new maternity wing is your local haven for life's special deliveries. Combining cozy comfort with top-tier technology, they bring big city medical excellence to the heart of Beaver with that small-town touch Beaver Valley Hospital is known for. Their full-service community hospital is your health partner from inpatient care, emergency, surgical, maternity, physical therapy, home health, and hospice. Beaver Valley Hospital is proud to support Beaver High School.
When Bark detects a digital danger, I receive automatic alerts so that I can deal with problems as they arise, while still respecting my son's privacy by not having to read through every single message. Bark even delivers research-backed recommendations on dealing with the issue. This helps me and my son work together, trust each other, and build a deeper bond. Bark has helped protect millions of children while detecting tens of thousands of severe self-harm situations. Bark brings us closer together.
Get Bark protection today from Centricom on unlimited family devices. Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
We're back here at Kate Field at Salt Lake Community College. Full count, and the first pitch that Zach Main throws is a deep fly ball in the left field line. Just foul for Ryder Waldron as he just missed a big hit. Would have been a ground rule double as it lands about a foot foul in the left field line. So Zach Main is who has replaced Brady Anderson on the mound. They just trade places as Anderson goes to first base. Waldron back in on the right side. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Waldron will go down swinging for the second out of the inning. First strike out of the game for Zach Main.
Yeah, Zach Main comes in, does his job, gets the out right there, makes it 2 outs. You know, Canyon View's defense is able to, their infield is able to back up, just get the out at first base right here.
So that will bring George Jensen to the plate. He stands on the right side with 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch, swung on, ground ball back at the middle. Slack charging it short, fields it. Throw to first is in time for the 6-3 ground out and the 3rd out of the inning as Zach Main comes in and gets the Falcons out of trouble. No runs on, no hits in the inning. 1 error committed by Canyon View in the process and 2 runners left on base through 2.5 innings of play. It's Morgan 3, Canyon View 0 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
When Bark detects a digital danger, I receive automatic...
At CVMC Medical Clinics, our growing team of physicians and advanced providers are shaping what rural healthcare can be. With an array of specialties available in world-class orthopedic medicine, our footprint is always expanding to ensure our personalized approach is reaching as many as possible. Familiar faces and expert knowledge, all of our locations can offer your family full-spectrum care in one place. Available in Nephi, Santaquin, and Fountain Green. CVMC is the place where healthcare is made personal.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
Alright, this round's almost over.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
We're back here at Kate Field at Salt Lake Community College. Again, Robert Lovell with you alongside Ty Hill on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports as we go to the bottom of the third inning with Morgan leading Canyon View 3-0. And the Falcons will bring the 9, 1, and 2 batters to the plate this inning. Jaron Bradshaw, followed by Bubba Ludlow and Asher Slack. If they get to the fourth batter, that will be Cameron Calvez. As Brigham Spence still on the mound for Morgan. 2 quick balls thrown to Bradshaw for a 2-0 hitter's count.
Yeah, Brigham Spence has thrown it well through 2 innings. Again, falling behind this batter right here, see if he can get back in the zone.
Here's the 2-0 delivery from Spence. I'll miss low, 4-1 and a 2-1 count.
Again, if you're Canyon View right now, got to get some base runners on, got to score, got to get on the board here in this inning. Again, it's like we talked about earlier. Can't kind of talk about this for Morgan earlier. You can't wait till the late innings to score.
2-0 pitch misses outside. I thought it was a 2-1 pitch, but apparently it was 3-0 pitch.
Yeah, apparently it was 3-0. Again, Canyon View has to get some aggression going right now. They got to get some urgency at the plate. Again, with the top of your order up right now, everybody's gone through and seen Spence. Everybody can take a deep breath, go up, and just be aggressive at the plate.
So that'll bring Bubba Ludlow to the plate. He stands on the right side. First pitch, right down the middle, strike 1.
Again, Bubba Ludlow with some pop in his bat. Again, center field playing not incredibly deep. Bubba gets a hold of one, can set it over his head and go running.
Bradshaw takes a lead at first. Throw over not in time as he scampers back to the bag.
Yeah, Bradshaw only 2 stolen bases on the year, and I'm not sure if he's a big threat to run. But if you're Coach Jacobson at this point in the game, do you think you try and take a bag, try and put your team in a position to score a run?
The 0-1 pitch. Caught the inside edge for a called strike 2 to Ludlow and an 0-2 count.
Yeah, good bounce back at bat right here from Spence. Again, walking the previous hitter on 4 pitches and comes back against Trenton Ludlow and able to get 2 strikes on him quick.
The 0-2 delivery goes behind the back of Ludlow, 4-1 and a 1-2 count.
Again, another good play by the catcher right there. That's a tough ball to get to because Trenton Ludlow's got to get out of the way. Then you got to catch the ball, and again, by him doing that, keeps the runner at first base.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Runner on for Canyon View at first. Here's the 1-2 from Spence. Backs Ludlow off the plate for ball 2 and a 2-2 count.
It's a really close pitch right there. If you're Spence, you want that. If you're Morgan, you really want that pitch. But again, umpire calls it a ball, brings it to 2-2.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Giddings in on the right side. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swung on, ground ball to the left side. Talbot at short, fields it in the hole. No play at second, and safe at first is Ludlow. An infield single, 2 on now for the Falcons, and the tying run coming to the plate.
You see Ludlow right there looking at his dugout, trying to get them hyped up and excited. Again, Canyon View's finally in a position to score a run right here.
Going to bring Asher Slack to the plate now for Canyon View. Again, no outs and 2 on here in the bottom of the third. 3-0, Morgan leads, but Canyon View threatening.
Again, Asher Slack just needs to put a ball in play, get the base runners moving, give them an opportunity to score.
Spence comes set. Squares to bunt, pulls it back. Does Slack as ball 1 goes by high.
Again, right here, if you're Asher Slack, you're trying to get it down the third baseline because the pitcher has to come all the way off the mound to field it.
So 1-0 count. Again, the runners will take their lead. Squaring to bunt is Slack. Pulls it back, swings away, high pop-up in the infield. And the infield fly will be called by the field umpire for out number 1. P6 for Slack, popping to the shortstop for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, tries to do a slash play right there, trying to, fool him with the bunt, pull it back and hit the ball, but, gets underneath it, easy pop up to the shortstop.
So to bring Cameron Calvez to the plate. He stands in on the right side.
Again, like we talked about earlier, Calvez has an opportunity to drive a ball, really, really far out of the ballpark in with his big, powerful swing.
First pitch misses high for ball 1.
Again, for Canyon View, you don't want to be pressing right now. Again, it's still relatively early in the game, but you got to get a run here. You finally have an opportunity to score with a run on second base. You got to take advantage of that.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hard hit, line drive through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. Ludlow rounding, or should be that's Bradshaw rounding third, coming home. He will score. Ludlow gets caught and run down between second and third. He's going to dive back to the bag. The ball hits him, and he makes it back safely. It's an RBI single for Calvez. Runners at first and second for the Falcons with 1 out, and it's a 2-run ball game.
Ludlow really gets bailed out right there, gets really caught in the rundown, but able to, fool the Morgan Trojans a little bit right there and able to make it back into second base. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Again, Calvez comes through, gets Canyon View's offense going. Again, first 3 innings of the game, they're just really stagnant, haven't really done much, but able to put a run on the board. Let's see what they can do the rest of the inning.
Brings Brady Anderson to the plate. He stands in on the left side. The runners will take their lead. First pitch misses outside for ball 1.
Yeah, just missed right there. Catcher tries to bring it back into the zone, but umpire calls it a ball, makes it 1-0.
There's the 1-0 delivery. That one's going to miss outside for ball 2, and a 2-0 hitters count now to Anderson. He's 0 for 1 in the game, grounded out to the pitcher to end the first inning. He's got a chance to make it a 1-run game or possibly even tie it with a base hit in the gap. The 2-0 delivery. Swung on, high pop-up in the infield. Talbot at shortstop calls for it, makes the play for out number 2, a P6 for Anderson for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, a lot of those weak pop-ups from Canyon View right now. I don't know if they're just dropping their hands or just missing the ball, but weak pop-ups.
And that will now bring Zach Main to the plate for Canyon View. 3-1 your score. Morgan with the lead here in the bottom of the third inning. 1 run across for the Falcons this inning, with 2 runners on base and 2 outs. Main's 0 for 1. He flew out to center field to lead off the second. First pitch swung on, ground ball to the left side. Talbot at short fields it. The flip to second is in time for the 6-4 fielder's choice and the third out of the inning. But the Falcons get on the board. They get 1 run on 2 hits in the inning. No errors committed by Morgan and 2 runners left on base through 3 innings of play. It is Morgan 3, Canyon View 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
I'm Dr. Brandon Beck, and I'm one of the general surgeons at Central Valley Medical Center. One of the best parts of my job as a general surgeon is to interact with a wide variety of people. And many of those people have experienced chronic conditions or painful things for many years. And there is nothing better than helping them to work through those conditions and to have an improved quality of life. I'm happy to be back in Utah at Central Valley Medical Center serving the people in our community.
First batter of the inning for the Morgan Trojans reaches on an infield single as they bring the 9-1 and 2 batters to the plate here in the top of the 4th inning. And Triker Jones on an 0-1 count. Slow ground ball to the left side in the 5-6 hole reaches on the infield single. So 1 on and no outs here for Morgan, leading Canyon View 3-1.
Just didn't hit extremely hard, but found a hole, able to beat the throw out, give Morgan a base runner.
Brings Cameron Talbot to the plate. First pitch swinging. High pop up in the infield. And Slack is there to make the play for out number 1. A P6 for Talbot. Pop to the shortstop for the first out of the inning. He'll be followed by Kenyon Leonelli. Then Brigham Spence if they get to that 4th batter.
Yeah, just got underneath that baseball. Weak pop up to the shortstop. But if you're Morgan, you know, your goal is to get that run back in this inning and keep it and try to get back to that 3-run lead you had.
So in on the right side is Leonelli. Comes set. First pitch from Maine in there for a called strike 1.
That's a good pitch right there from Maine on the outside half. Again, your goal as relievers to come in and pound strikes. Got to pound that strike zone.
Throw over to first. Not in time. Diving back safely is Jones. Maine comes set from the stretch. 2-step lead over at first base. Runner takes off. 0-1 pitch. Misses high. Throw to second is safe as it got kicked out of the glove. The throw was right on the money. McClellan caught it right as the runner slid in, then kicked the ball out of his glove to reach base safely with the stolen base.
That was a tremendous throw right there by Calvez, but the runner is able to kick the ball out of McClellan's glove and be able to steal that base right there and give Morgan a runner in scoring position right here.
Jones got a good jump to take second base. 1-1 count now for Leonelli. 1-1 pitch, and there for a called strike 2 and a 1-2 count.
See, Leonelli doesn't really like that call right there. Must have been in the lower part of the zone. Regardless, you're down 1-2. Now you got to battle, put a ball in play, try and get that runner over to third base.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Maine. Called strike 3, and Leonelli will go down looking for the second out of the inning and second strikeout of the game for Zach Maine.
Yeah, that's a great pitch right there from Zach Maine on the outside part of the plate. Again, Leonelli frozen at the plate, Zach Maine able to put a backwards K in the book, gets it to 2 outs.
Brings Brigham Spence to the plate with a chance of driving a run and help out his own cause, leading 3-1. First pitch, there's a sidearm slot there from Maine, misses outside for ball 1.
Yeah, try to do a little quick pitch to Maine right there and kind of backfired on him, but wasn't good location. Yanked the ball and able to ball get by Calvez, and runner advances to third.
So Jones moves 90 feet closer. Stands at third base, 2 outs in the inning. 1-0 count to Spence. Spence is 0 for 1 in the game. 1-0 pitch, swung on, popped foul to the right side for strike 1.
Yeah, Spence just misses that ball right there. If you're Zach Maine, you got to continue to pound the zone. You got 2 outs. Again, you're just trying to have Morgan put the ball in play, get out of the inning, try to get your team in the dugout with a little bit of momentum with scoring a run in the previous inning. Kennyview has a little bit of momentum. Can't let Morgan get that run in.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs to Spence. Maine out of the windup with the runner on third. Check swing. Didn't go around, blocked by Calvez in the dirt for ball 2 and a 2-1 count.
Yeah, it's a good take, but right there by number 27 again. Now you're ahead in the count. Again, you're trying to get that fastball. You can hit hard, find a hole, and score a run. You can see the Morgan runner at third base trying to get Maine's attention.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Also just missed low for ball 3 and a 3-1 hitters count for Spence.
Yeah, you can see Maine trying to ask where that pitch was. Umpire says it was down.
So 3-1 count. Spence stands back in. Maine out of the windup. Next pitch misses up for ball 4. And Spence will draw the 2-out walk. Runners on the corners for Morgan with Ben Harden coming to the plate.
Again, Ben Harden. Again, like we keep talking about, big, powerful, strong hitter. See if he can score running right here. See if Coach Stewart puts play on with 2 outs right here.
Cameron Calvez gives the play call defensively for the Falcons. Harden stands in on the right side.
Again, right here, if you can, you need to get out of this inning without allowing Morgan to score.
First pitch misses up for ball one.
Again, missing high a little bit. Got to get down the mound. Got to get the arm angle to work down.
Harden 1 for 1 in the game. Runners take their lead. Next pitch right down the middle for strike one and a 1-1 count. Harden had an RBI single in the first, reached on a walk in the third. Morgan leads at 3-1 here in the top of the fourth. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Runner takes off, swung on and fouled out to 90th south for strike two and a 1-2 count.
Okay, you see Zach Main drop that arm angle down to a sidearm right there to try and catch the batter sleeping. Again, Ben Harden able to foul that pitch off, make it an 0-2 count.
Spence back at first base now with the 1-2 count. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike three, and Harden will go down swinging for the third out of the inning. Third strikeout of the game for Zach Main as the Trojans threaten, but they do not score. No runs on one hit in the inning, no errors by the Falcons, and 2 runners left on base. Through 3.5, we're halfway home. It's Morgan 3, Canyon View 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
As a parent, you never want to see your child struggling with suicidal thoughts. But today, the threat is hidden deep within their phones. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk?
We at Centricom want to help every family protect their children. Get Bark protection today from Centricom on unlimited family devices. Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Embark on your journey to radiant skin with Sam Pete Skin Bar. Whether you are looking to address specific skin concerns, kickstart your skincare routine, or simply indulge in relaxation, we've got you covered. Facials, microneedling, seasonal chemical peels, and more. Located at 210 West Main Street in Mount Pleasant, Utah. Visit our website at sampeteskinbar.com or call or text 435-314-6024 to book your appointment today.
Welcome back here to Salt Lake Community College as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning with Morgan leading Canyon View 3-1. Here at the 3A Baseball State Tournament, a Morgan win would force an extra game in Bracket 1 between these two teams at 7 o'clock tomorrow. If Canyon View comes back to win, they'll move on to the best-of-3 state championship series. First pitch swinging is McClellan for the Falcons. Ground ball to short. Throw to first is in time from Talbot for the 6-3 ground out and the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Talbot, a short makes that play look easy. Gobbles it up and fires a strike over to first base.
So the 6, 7, and 8 batters this inning for Morgan as for Canyon View, McClellan will be followed by Jake Thomas, then Zach Millett. If they get to the fourth batter, that is Jaron Bradshaw. Thomas now stands in on the right side. First pitch in the turf, ball one.
Again, if you're Canyon View, you got to find a way to get base runners on. Again, whether it be walks, hit by pitches, or whatever, you got to find a way to get on.
There's the 1-0 delivery from Spence. That one drops into the breaking ball for a called strike one and a 1-1 count. Spence out of the windup, 1-1 delivery. Swung on, high pop up. Looks like it'll stay in play. And a collision between Spence and Bowerly. And Spence is able to make the catch. Bowerly telling him, hey, I called for it.
Yeah, that's a scary play right there. Again, like with collision right there, again, anything can happen. But again, looks like everybody's okay. And yeah, you can see Bowerly telling his pitcher, like, hey, I called it. I don't know what you're doing. But regardless, play's been made, 2 outs.
Yeah, P1 for Thomas, pop up to the pitcher, and that'll bring Zach Millett to the plate now for the Falcons. No one on and 2 outs. First pitch, down the middle, strike one.
Again, Brigham Spence just looks comfortable out there on the mound, just pounding the strike zone, going right after these Canyon View hitters. He's done tremendous.
0-1 pitch. This is a bit high for ball one and a 1-1 count.
Yeah, it just misses off the plate right there. Again, right here, if you're Zach Millett, got to be competitive, got to put a bat on a ball, got to hit it hard somewhere.
The 1-1. Swung on deep fly ball to left for Millett. Going back is Jones on the run, and he makes the catch. Great play by Triker Jones to reel that one in on the run at the wall for the third out of the inning. An F7 for Millett to fly out to left to end the inning, but it's 1, 2, 3 they go as Spence sits him down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base through 4 complete. It's Morgan 3, Canyon View 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Back here at Salt Lake Community College as we go to the top of the 5th inning with the Trojans of Morgan leading Canyon View 3-1. And they will bring to the plate 5, 6, and 7 batters. Luke Bowerly, Beck Sheffield, and Ryder Waldron. If they get to the 4th batter, that'll be George Jensen. First pitch from Maine to Bowerly, fouled off to the left side for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Swung on, again, foul to the left side for strike 2, 0-2 count.
Yeah, quick 0-2 count for Zach Maine out there. Again, working, has a good pace, working out there on the mound. Again, just has to continue to attack these Morgan Trojan hitters. And if you're Morgan, again, got to find a way to get more runs. 3 is not enough.
No balls, 2 strikes, the 0-2. Swung on and fouled back to the screen as Maine dropped that arm slot again on that one.
Yeah, I like that right there. Again, it changes up the velo of your fastball, and if you're a hitter, when you're hitting, you're expecting the arm to come out of the same slot every single time. So when you drop that arm slot, it's a little bit of a curveball.
0-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball fouled on the third baseline again from Bowerly.
Again, way to foul that off by Bowerly. Just hits it right down the line. Lives to see another pitch. And again, like I was saying with Maine right there, again, dropping that arm slot, it's able to change up the tempo of the hitter. Again, maybe he has to sit a little longer than he's used to compared to his normal windup and pitch.
Here's again the 0-2 pitch. Bowerly thought about it, held off, watches ball 1 go by low for a 1-2 count.
Yeah, that's a good hold right there if you're Bowerly. Again, when you're down in the count, it's really easy to chase those pitches in the dirt, but he's able to stay disciplined enough to see another pitch.
So 1-2 count. Maine works out of the windup as he takes the sign from Calvez. The pitch. This is way inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Again, if you're Maine right here, you don't want to work it back to full. You want to get him right here on this 2-2 count.
Again, Maine working out of the windup. The 2-2 delivery. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. That's the 3rd foul ball since the 2-strike count for Bowerly. Next pitch will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah, Bowerly putting together a great at-bat right here.
Next pitch, ground ball to the right side. Filled it at second by McClellan. Double clutched it, throw to first. In time, beat him by half a step for the 4-3 ground out and the first out of the inning.
Yeah, right there, bang, bang play. McClellan able to get it out of his glove and make the throw over. Gets the out.
So I want to bring Beck Sheffield to the plate now for the Trojans.
Again, Beck Sheffield, the junior, coming in with a .397 average coming into this game.
Maine out of the windup. First pitch to Sheffield. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, again, when you're at 0-0 count, right, you're way ahead in the count at 0-0. So you're just trying to get a ball you can hit hard, and he chases right there.
0-1 pitch, misses high and tight for ball 1 and a 1-1 count.
So brings it back to even right there. So like I was saying, at an 0-0 count, you really just want to sit on one spot, one pitch, and when you chase a ball like that, you fall behind the count.
1-1. Check swing.
Home plate umpire said he went around.
So a 1-2 count. Next pitch from Maine. Called strike 3 as it drops in. And Sheffield goes down looking for the second out of the inning. 4th strikeout of the game for Zach Maine.
Yeah, it's a great pitch on the outside part right there by Maine to get the K right there. Again, gets 2 outs. Gets you close to getting back in the dugout.
Brings Ryder Waldron to the plate now for the Trojans. Maine working out of the windup. First pitch. Curveball. Drops in for strike 1.
Yeah, Maine with a good curveball right there to get ahead in the count. If you're Waldron, you don't want that at the 0-0 count. You want that fastball.
There's the 0-1 delivery. Swung on. High pop-up. It's going to drift back and will get out of play for strike 2. So an 0-2 count.
Yeah, quick 0-2 count right here with Maine. Let's see if you can get him right here. You don't want to work the count. Don't want to allow Waldron to get back into the count. You just want to get him right here.
Maine's been really efficient since he's come into the game. In relief. There's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. Picked up by Calvez. Throw to first in time. And Waldron will go down swinging for the 3rd out of the inning as Maine sits him down in order. 1, 2, 3 they go. No runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left on base through 4.5 innings of play. It is Morgan 3, Canyon View 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
For more than 3 decades, the Intermountain Power Project has served as a model of regional energy cooperation, generating and transmitting coal-fueled electricity to a diverse group of municipal utilities and rural electric cooperatives with operations across 6 U.S. states. Now Intermountain Power is expanding its role as a regional energy hub, including utilizing renewable energy resources. Intermountain Power is proud to support and invest in our central Utah communities. Visit IPAUtah.com to learn more about IPP Renewed.
We're back here at Salt Lake Community College as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning with Morgan leading Canyon View 3-1 here at the 3A Baseball State Tournament. And for the Canyon View Falcons, they will now bring the 9-1 and 2 batters to the plate. Jaron Bradshaw, Bubba Ludlow, and Asher Slack. If they get to the 4th batter, that'll be Cameron Calvez. Brigham Spence still pitching for Morgan. First pitch from Bradshaw, fouled off to the right side, out of play for strike 1. This is the same spot in the order 2 innings ago that they got their first run scored. Here's the 0-1. Misses low for ball 1 from Spence.
Yeah, spikes that ball right there, it looks like. Again, Jaron Bradshaw right here. You want him to do a job of getting the base runner on, then bringing the top of your lineup up.
The 0-1 delivery. 1-1 delivery, stays low for ball 2 and a 2-1 count. Got to stop looking at the scoreboard.
I know, I just got to look at the screen right here.
So, 2 balls, 1 strike to Bradshaw. He stands back in on the right side. Next pitch from Spence. Swung on, line drive through the 5-6 hole for a base hit for Jaron Bradshaw. He will round first and hold there with a leadoff single for the Falcons.
Yeah, ball hit really well through the 5-6 hole right there. Gives Canyon View a base runner. Brings up the dangerous Bubba Ludlow.
As Ludlow will take the sign from Coach Jacobson down the third base line. He stands in on the right side.
Again, at this part of the game, if you're Coach Jacobson, do you try to steal a bag? Do you put on a hit and run? Do you try and do something to get a run across?
Spence sets. Bradshaw extends his lead. Fouled back to the screen by Ludlow for strike 1.
Yeah, not a bad swing right there on the 0-0 count. Just fouled the ball off. Again, if you're Spence, you've been throwing really well. You just want to get a ground ball right here, get 2 outs. Ground ball double play right here if you're Spence.
Throw over to first to not in time as Bradshaw dives back safely.
You know it's not the quickest move by Spence, but then he fires a bullet to first base to make up for that.
Ludlow back in on the right side. Spence calling for the the sign. Next pitch to Ludlow misses outside for ball 1 and a 1-1 count. So 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Taking a lead out first is Bradshaw. The 1-1 from Spence. This is up for ball 2.
Yeah, if you're Bubba Ludlow right here, you're heading the count, right? You don't want to swing at a pitch that's not yours. You're trying to get a ball you can drive into a gap and get the run across.
So a 2-1 count. Next pitch misses high and away for ball 3 and a 3-1 hitters count now for Ludlow.
Spence has thrown really well throughout the whole game. Maybe you think he's getting a little fatigued out there. Again, he's only coming to the game throwing 14 and 2/3 innings. Hasn't thrown a lot, but has done really, really well in this ball game.
Got time called by Ludlow.
Again, that's a great tool that some hitters, they fail to use, right? Calling time, being able to, to get comfortable in the box. It's a huge thing about hitting is just being comfortable. If you're not comfortable, call time.
3-1 pitch. That'll miss inside for ball 4, so Ludlow draws the walk. That puts the tying run on base for the Falcons with no outs. And Asher Slack coming to the plate. And the pitching coach out for Morgan, and Coach Stewart's also coming out. So see if they are going to go ahead and make a change here or not. He's just bringing a baseball.
Yep, I think the pitching coach is going to come out, just tell the starting pitcher just to take a little breath, get back to what he's been doing this whole game, to try and get to contact. But again, if you're Canada, you're in a good spot. You're feeling pretty confident right now. Again, with no outs, 2 runners on, and the meat of your order coming up with Slack and Calvez.
Yeah, Slack coming to the plate. Let's see, they are.
Looks like they are changing.
They're
Maybe
just
not.
bringing Harden over to talk to Coach outside the dugout. So,
yeah, I don't think that's Coach. I think it's just telling them what he wants them to do. Maybe trying to come up with a backdoor play right here.
yeah, he's going to go talk to the second baseman now. Is Harden goes and visits with Waldron.
Yeah, if I'm Canyon View, I Coach Jacobson, I'm seeing that and telling my base runners to be really smart out there. Don't get caught. Don't get caught with your feet twisted.
Brings Slack to the plate. 2 on and no outs. Bottom 5. First pitch from Spence. He'll square to bunt, pull it back. Watches ball 1 go by high. So the last 2 innings go. Slack squared to bunt and then tried to pull back and swing away and hit a lazy pop to the shortstop. Squared to bunt on that one and pulled it back to watch ball 1.
Yeah, right there, able to pull that bunt back, and we'll see if Coach Jacobson calls that again right here, if he allows Slack to swing away.
He's back in on the right side as the runners take their lead. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, watches ball 2 go by high. So a 2-0 hitters count now for Asher Slack.
Again, right here, if you're Asher Slack, you're going to lay another bunt down. This is the pitch to do it. Again, 2-0 count. Morgan's pitcher's got to come over with a fastball for a strike.
Squares the bunt again, pulls it back as that one goes over his head for ball 3, and a 3-0 count now to Slack. A walk loads the bases for Cameron Calvez.
Again, if you're Morgan, that's what you don't want. You don't want bases loaded and the dangerous Calvez to come up to the plate.
3-0 count. Squares to bunt again, pulls it back. There's all automatic for a called strike 1 and a 3-1 hitters count for Slack.
Yeah, you're still way ahead in the count if you're Asher Slack.
They do send down a pitcher to the bullpen, does Morgan. That heading down there is Riker Moser. I saw him earlier today. And they've sent down a couple others as well. Bunt back, right back to the pitcher. It's picked up by Spence. Throw to first is in time. As Asher Slack does his job, he moves the 2 runners that are the pull within 1 and tying run into scoring position for Calvez.
Yeah, it's a quality play right there. It's a quality bunt, able to move both runners up a base, bringing up Calvez with a huge opportunity to tie up the ball game.
Calvez stands in on the right side.
And if you're Calvez, you don't want to try and do too much. You just want to be comfortable in the box, get a ball you can hit hard. Again, you're seeing the Morgan Trojans third baseman playing in on the grass. We'll see what happens.
First pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. A big swing from Calvez for strike one. Really surprised they haven't considered maybe putting him on, and they might have considered putting him on with first base open, but they're going to pull the infield in on the grass instead to cut the run off at home. Here's the 0-1. That one nearly hits him as he slides back out of the way for ball one.
Yep, I agree with you. I think this is you put him on, you take your chances against Brady Anderson, but they choose not to. They choose to go after Calvez right here. Let's see if it works out in Morgan's favor.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That one misses high and tight for ball 2. And a 2-1 count.
Okay, you can see Spen's location kind of starting to fade a little bit as the game goes on. Let's see if Calvez can stay disciplined in his approach and his discipline on the plate and not chase a ball.
Next pitch. Misses inside for ball 3. 3-1 is the score. Morgan leading. There's the next pitch to Calvez. Swung on the inside pitch and fouled on the third base slide for strike 2. You know Calvez wants to hit right here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can really see it with his tendency at the plate. He really, really wants to hit. If you're Morgan right here, you got a full count, right? It's not the worst thing to throw an uncompetitive pitch right here and put in and get him to walk. Again, he wants to hit right here. If you throw a breaking ball that's away, maybe you get him to fish at it and swing and miss, or if you walk him, doesn't hurt you.
Here's the payoff pitch. Big swing and a miss, and Calvez will go down swinging for the second out of the inning. And the first strikeout of the game for Brigham Spence, and it comes at a huge time.
Yeah, first strikeout of the game in the most opportune spot for Brigham Spence. Again, he's thrown absolutely tremendous this game, and that's a huge, huge time to get that strikeout. Still got to get one more out, though.
So that'll bring Brady Anderson to the plate.
Again, Brady Anderson, another good hitter. Let's see what Spence can do.
Spence from the stretch, first pitch. Misses up for ball 1.
Again, if you're Canyon View right here, if you don't score, it's kind of a backbreaker. You got to get these runs in.
Anderson's 0 for 2, hasn't gotten one out of the infield. Ground out to the pitcher, pop up to the shortstop. Coach Stewart out bringing his left fielder in with the left-handed batting Anderson. Here's the 1-0. Right down the middle, strike 1.
It's a good spot right there by Spence on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Brings it back to a 1-1 count. If you're Brady Anderson, you're not trying to do too much. Again, trying to just poke a ball into a hole to score 2 runs. You can just try to take a deep breath and relax at the plate.
Now Spence steps off the mound.
Again, right here, if you're Spence in this big spot right here, you just got to take a deep breath and just compete like you've done all game.
Bottom 5, 3-1 Morgan. 2 on and 2 outs here for Canyon View. The 1-1 to Anderson. Swung on. Fly ball into center field, coming in, diving forward and making the catch is Canyon Leonelli for out number 3 as the Falcons get 2 on with no outs and unable to drive in a run. They threaten but do not score. No runs on 1 hit in the inning. No errors committed by the Trojans and 2 runners left on base through 5 complete. It's Morgan 3, Canyon View 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Jones & DeMille Engineering was founded in 1982 with a simple mission: to shape the quality of life where we live, work, and play. We are proud to serve by providing clean water, increasing access to nature and recreation, protecting homes from flooding, designing safe wastewater systems, and connecting our communities. It is our goal to create a place where people want to live, work, and enjoy life. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the Turbo Max engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now.
Get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
To the top of the 6th inning we go with Morgan leading Canyon View 3-1 here in the 3A Baseball State Tournament. And the Trojans will bring the 8, 9, and 1 batters to the plate this inning. George Jensen, Triker Jones, and Cameron Talbot. If they get to the 4th batter, that is Canyon Leonelli, who just made a great diving forward catch to end the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Jensen was swung on and missed. Next one, a ground ball down the third base side. Gets past Bradshaw right on the line. And rounding first and holding there is Jensen with a leadoff single for the Trojans.
Yeah, Bradshaw gets kind of cuffed right there at third base. Doesn't really know if he wants to backhand that ball or field it like a normal ground ball, and lets the ball go right by him. Morgan gets the single. And going back to that play by Leonelli in the last inning, that was a huge, huge play for Morgan. Again, with that play, Morgan gets a lot of momentum going into this inning and rolls it into the first batter single.
Brings Triker Jones to the plate. Let's see, they will go with a pinch runner here. Coming into the game now for the Trojans will be Carter Mabos. He will run for Jensen, who just got his 2nd hit of the game. Triker Jones stands in on the right side. Umpire wasn't ready yet as everybody kind of stopped playing except for the runner on first. And now that Maine stepped off the mound, he goes back to the bag. Now they reset. Throw over to first. Not in time as Mabos dives back safely.
Yeah, good move right there by Maine. Really quick to throw over.
First pitch to Jones, line drive off the glove of Slack into left field. Slack, I think, unnecessarily jumped on that one, and as a result, it kicks into left field, and everybody is safe.
Yeah, kind of the same thing right there with Bradshaw when he got cuffed. Again, Slack found himself kind of in between whether he should dive or stay flat-footed. Decides to jump, and ball goes off his glove, and 2 runners on.
They go ahead and rule that one a hit here at the stadium, so we'll rule it with them. Runners at first and second. Leadoff batter Cameron Talbot at the plate. First pitch swinging. Pops it foul to the left side for strike 1.
Oh, they call catcher's interference?
Yes, they did. So catcher's interference puts the runner on first. Base is loaded now for the Trojans with no outs here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, catcher's interference right there. You're seeing Calvis kind of bark back at the home plate umpire, kind of disagreeing with the call. Regardless, brings up bases loaded for the Morgan Trojans with no outs. Again, this is a huge opportunity for Morgan. They got to capitalize right here.
So that brings Canyon Leonelli to the plate. Coach Jacobson pulls the infield in on the grass. First pitch from Maine. He squares the bunt. Foul way down the first baseline for strike 1.
Yeah, trying to do a squeeze play right there.
Going with more of the safety squeeze.
I just think right here, if you're Morgan, I just let him swing away with everything that's going on with Morgan or with Canyon View's defense.
A 1 pitch misses high and away for ball 1 and a 1-1 count. Leonelli's 0 for 2 in the game. He struck out twice. He also walked in the first inning. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, ground ball back of the middle, hit hard for a base hit. Ludlow charging in center field. He will come up throwing right to home. So it's a RBI single for Leonelli. It's now 4-1 Morgan. The bases remained loaded with no outs here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, good swing right there by Leonelli to shoot it right back up the box. And a good hold right there by Coach Stewart. Understanding that Ludlow has a really good arm in center field, holds the runner up at third, keeps the bases loaded with nobody out. Here comes Coach Jacobson out of the dugout.
Maybe a change coming. Jacobson works his way out to the mound. Leonelli really put that last hit on a rope. Hard hit ball right off the mound.
Yeah, really smoked that ball right back up the middle again with the infield playing in. Again, nobody would have got to it anyways, but scoring the run right there, bringing again the heart of Morgan's order with bases loaded, nobody out. And you can see Canyon View again flustered, frustrated. Let's see if Morgan can take advantage.
It'll bring Brigham Spence to the plate. With the bases loaded, no outs, a 3-run Morgan lead. Trojans trying to force the if game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against Canyon View. Spins in on the right side. Runners take their lead as Maine works from the stretch. First pitch. It's going to miss, low and away, ball 1.
Yeah, just barely off the plate, if that. Again, if you're Maine, you really want that call. If you're Canyon View, you really want that call.
Spence in the game is 0 for 1. There's the 1-0. That one's in there for a called strike 1 and a 1-1 count.
Good response right there to that pitch right there. Again, brings it back to 1-1. Again, right here with Spence to see if he can take advantage, help himself out on the mound. Really break this game wide open.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2 at 1, fading away for the 1-2 count.
Yeah, just not a very confident swing right there. Kind of just fooled with the slider. Again, if you see his arm drop down, you kind of can tell yourself that it's going to be a breaking ball away, and you just got to sit there and watch it go run away from you.
1-2 pitch, swung on, high pop up into shallow left. Coming in is Thomas on the run. He'll make the catch. Jones does not tag at third. So 1 out in the inning, and F7 for Spence. Fly out to left for the first out. Bases remain loaded for Morgan with a 4-1 lead, and Ben Harden coming to the plate.
Yeah, good play right there by Thomas to come in and get that ball, not allowing the Morgan runner to come in and score. Keeps bases loaded with 1 out. Now you can put your middle infield back to play a double play.
They're leaving him, though, in on the grass, says Coach Jacobson.
Yep, looks like they're leaving him in.
With Harden at the plate. He stands in on the right side.
You can see Asher Slack really kind of.
First pitch, breaking ball on the inside edge for a called strike 1.
See Asher Slack really close to the third baseman from the shortstop position, really opening up that middle part of the field.
Yeah, playing Harden to pull. So an 0-1 count. The pitch from Maine. Misses up for ball 1.
Again, right here, if you're Harden, you try not to do too much. Don't overthink it. Just do what you've done all day and hit a baseball hard.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Again, Spence sets. The 1-1 delivery. In the dirt outside, a great block by Calvez to hold the runners.
Yeah, huge block right there for Calvez to prevent a runner coming in. Makes it a 2-1 count.
Runners again take their lead. 1 out in the inning. 2-1 pitch, swung on and foul to the right side, out of play for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Again, good job of Maine to bring it to 2-2 right here. He's got to try and get a strikeout right here. Get 2 outs.
Infield still in on the grass, the 2-2. Misses low for ball 3. Another good block for Calvez. Full count.
Yeah, another huge block right there for Calvez. Again, nowhere to put the Morgan Trojan batter right here. Got to make him put a ball in play.
Bases loaded and 1 out. Full count for Harden. The payoff pitch from Maine. Swung on and fouled to the screen on the right side as Harden battles.
Yeah, this is a good swing right there by Harden to foul that pitch off. Live to see another ball.
Harden in the game is 1 for 2. RBI single in the first, walked in the third, struck out in the fourth. He's got a full count here with 1 out and the bases loaded. Again, the payoff pitch from Maine. In the dirt outside for ball 4 to bring in a run. 5-1 Morgan here in the top of the 6th. Bases remain loaded for Luke Bowerly.
Yeah, that's a tremendous at-bat right there by Ben Harden right there to make Maine out there really work and then work a walk to score a run. Again, bases are still loaded with only 1 out.
Bowerly in on the left side. Infield still in on the grass. First pitch swung on. Fly ball fouled on the left field line. Strike 1.
Again, Bowerly just a tad late on that fastball right there. Just needs to catch up to it.
Bowerly had a big game earlier today against Emory. He's 0 for 3 in this one. Reaching on a fielder's choice, reaching on an air, and grounding out to the second baseman. The 0-1 pitch swung on. Chopped foul to the right side for strike 2.
Yeah, now right now, if you're Burley, you gotta compete right here. You cannot go down on 3 pitches. You gotta get some of these runs in. You cannot leave the bases loaded. Still only 1 out.
There's the 0-2. It's going to miss outside for ball 1 and a 1-2 count.
Yeah, it's a huge take right there by Burley. Makes it a 1-2 count.
The 1-2 delivery from Maine misses high for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Bowerly.
You can see Calvez trying to talk to his pitcher Maine, trying to let him take a deep breath, trying to relax him a little bit.
There's the 2-2. Swung on, line drive into right field to get down for a base hit. 1 run comes in. They'll throw the stop sign up for Leonelli, but it's an RBI single for Luke Bowerly, and it's now 6-1 Trojans.
Getting a huge swing by Bowerly right there to make it 6-1 again. Morgan just putting a ball in play, putting together really good at bats.
And that's going to bring Coach Jacobson out of the dugout. So pitching change coming for the Falcons, who will take the break here in the top of the 6th. Morgan leads Canyon View 6-1. They have the bases loaded with still just 1 out in the top of the 6th inning on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
Are you a new CDL license holder? If so, Barney Trucking would like to train and pay you to become a world-class truck driver on state-of-the-art equipment. They also provide you with reliable, courteous support, a fantastic wage, paid holidays, solid benefits, home daily schedules, paid time off, an excellent safety record, and respect. Dependable truck drivers have been Barney Trucking's #1 investment since 1947. Start your outstanding career by applying today at barneyjobs.com. barneyjobs.com.
Expecting a bundle of joy? Beaver Valley Hospital's new maternity wing is your local haven for life's special deliveries. Combining cozy comfort with top-tier technology, they bring big city medical excellence to the heart of Beaver with that small-town touch Beaver Valley Hospital is known for. Their full-service community hospital is your health partner from inpatient care, emergency, surgical, maternity, physical therapy, home health, and hospice. Beaver Valley Hospital is proud to support Beaver High School.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
So Chandler McClellan comes into the game to pitch now for the Canyon View Falcons. And Zach Main will just trade him places and go to second base. So they just swap spots. And bases remain loaded for Morgan with Beck Sheffield at the plate. First pitch swinging. Line drive into left center field is down for a hit. Ludlow is up. He's going to come home with it. The throw is not in time as 2 runs come in on the RBI hit from Beck Sheffield.
Yeah, huge swing right there by Sheffield to score 2 runs right there. Again, Morgan's kind of broken the game open 8-1. Again, McClellan comes in, tries to throw a ball right by him. Gives up the 2 RBI single.
Big hit for Sheffield. Moving to second was Bowerly on the play. Sheffield stands at first, still just 1 out in the inning, and now Ryder Waldron at the plate. First pitch from McClellan, misses up above his head for ball 1.
Yeah, just sells that fastball right there. Again, if you're McClellan, you threw that first pitch strike, but the kid, gave up a single right there. Got to get back in the strike zone. If you're Coach Jacobson, got to tell your pitcher right there, he's 1 pitch away from a double play to get out of the inning.
There's the 1-0 pitch. This is up for ball 2 and a 2-0 hitters count to Waldron. Waldron over 3 in the game, grounded out to third, struck out twice.
Yeah, big time to break through if you're Waldron right here with the runner on scoring position. Runner on second base.
The 2-0. Big swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, 2-0 in the count, takes a big hack. I don't mind that. Again, brings it to 2-1. Got to kind of shorten it up. You just understand, got to find a hole right here. Got to score that run. You can't be settled if you're a Morgan Trojans.
1 out and 2 on. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. 9th batter of the inning as Morgan hits through the order here in the 6th.
Again, McClellan does a good job coming back from 2-0 to make it 2-2. Let's see if he can get Waldron right here.
There's the 2-2. Curveball misses upstairs. For ball 3 and a full count now to Waldron.
Yeah, if you're Waldron right here, you knew he just couldn't get that curveball for a strike. Now it's full. Now he's going to come at you with a fastball right here. You just got to be on time.
The payoff pitch from McClellan. Swung on and fouled back out of play as Waldron battles.
Yeah, Waldron does a great job of fouling that pitch off right there. Loves to see another one. Again, if you're McClellan, got to keep attacking. Got to keep going at these Morgan hitters.
Count remains full. 1 out and 2 on. McClellan sets. The payoff pitch. Threw the bat at it. Fly ball to left field. Thomas is there. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Runners will hold on the F7. Flat to left for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Waldron just kind of sticks his bat out there. Lazy fly ball to left field. Good play out there by the left fielder. Makes it 2 outs.
2 outs and 2 on for the Trojans. They lead it 8-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. And they will re-enter George Jensen, who got pinch ran for by Mabos. So Jensen will re-enter. He led the inning off with a single down the third baseline.
Yep, right here. If you're Jensen, you're trying to do the same thing, trying to find a hole to score this run at second base.
McClellan from the stretch. First pitch swung on. Fly ball into center field. Ludlow is there. He makes the play for out number 3. So an F8 for Jensen. Fly out to center field for the third out of the inning. But Morgan adds to their lead as they get 5 runs in the inning. They do so on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits in the inning. No errors committed by the Falcons in the process, and 2 runners left on base. Through 5.5 innings of play, it's Morgan 8, Canyon View 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
San Pete Steel and Monroe.
When Bark detects a digital danger, I receive automatic alerts so that I can deal with problems as they arise, while still respecting my son's privacy by not having to read through every single message. Bark even delivers research-backed recommendations on dealing with the issue. This helps me and my son work together, trust each other, and build a deeper bond. Bark has helped protect millions of children while detecting tens of thousands of severe self-harm situations. Bark brings us closer together.
Get Bark protection today from Centricom on unlimited family devices. Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
At CVMC Medical Clinics, our growing team of physicians and advanced providers are shaping what rural healthcare can be. With an array of specialties available in world-class orthopedic medicine, our footprint is always expanding to ensure our personalized approach is reaching as many as possible. Familiar faces and expert knowledge, all of our locations can offer your family full-spectrum care in one place. Available in Nephi, Santaquin, and Fountain Green. CVMC is the place where healthcare is made personal.
To the bottom of the 6th inning we go here at Salt Lake Community College. 8-1 your score. The Morgan Trojans lead Canyon View here in this 3A baseball state tournament game. Morgan trying to force the if game. They'll play Canyon View again tomorrow night if they can hold on for the win. If Canyon View does come back to get the win here, now down 7 runs, they will move on to the state championship series. And the first pitch to Zach Main from Brigham Spence hits Main, ricochets off into the bare hand of Bowerly, and Bowerly, he's feeling that one.
Yeah, that one doesn't feel good if you're Bowerly right there.
So the 5, 6, and 7 batters this inning for Canyon View. Main, McClellan, and Thomas. If they get to the 4th batter, that is Zach Millet. And again, the first pitch of the inning, Spence hits Main to put the leadoff runner on base.
Okay, right there, it's what you don't want to see if you're Coach Stewart. Again, don't want to give up freebies in this situation. You want to, like Canyon View, make the comeback with their bats.
So that'll bring Chandler McClellan to the plate. The third pitcher of the game for the Falcons. He stands in now on the right side. Brigham Spence trying to go the distance for Morgan. First pitch, drops off low for ball 1.
Yeah, it just misses right here. And again, if you're a Canyon View right here, you just got to take it one at bat at a time. Got to start the carousel just one at bat at a time.
Here's the 1-0. Caught the inside edge for a called strike one and a 1-1 count.
Yeah, good spot there by Spence on the inside part, brings it to 1-1.
McClellan's 1 for 2 in the game. Single in the second, ground out to short in the fourth. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one stays up for ball 2.
Yeah, it just misses high right there. Again, if you're McClellan, don't want to chase anything, don't want to bail Spence out. Just get a ball in the zone that you can hit hard.
2 balls, 1 strike. Comes back in on the right side. 2-1 pitch. That will drop off low and in for ball 3, and a hitter's count now for McClellan.
Yeah, just missed. But if you're McClellan right here, you're feeling pretty good. Way ahead in the count right here. Spence's got to come right after you.
Spends the 80 pitches now. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Swung on, high fly ball to center field. Leonelli drifts to his right and makes the play for out number 1. So an F8 for McClellan for the first out of the inning.
I just feel like if you're McClellan right there, you're way ahead in the count. You can get a better pitch than that. But instead he swings at it, lazy fly ball to center field.
You have a pinch hitter for Canyon View as, let's see, it looks like it's number 10. I don't have a 10 on this roster that they gave us. So they're going to try to get that marked down. The umpire gets that taken care of. 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Showing them the number, and I think that I got ours from the official score book.
I can't see a
So
number 10 on
I think they're trying to figure out who it is too. Yeah, it's not a number 10 on their roster online either. First pitch swinging, foul ball to the left side, out of play for strike 1.
Yeah, for number 10 for Canyon View right there again. Oh, count coming off the bench, tries to catch up with the fastball, just a little late on it.
Runner on first takes the lead. There's the 0-1. Going to drop off low for ball 1.
Yeah, I just missed right here. Spence is trying to get a ground ball to get out of this inning right here.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Spence sets from the stretch. The 1-1. And this is up for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
Again, right here, if you're the Canyon View batter, again, you're ahead in the count. Don't want to swing at a pitch outside the zone. Get a pitch you can hit hard.
Two 2-1 pitch, swung on, ground ball to the right side, fielded at second, throw to second in time, throw to first is not in time as he's able to beat out the double play, but a 4-6 fielder's choice hit into, and there's 2 outs now in the inning with a runner on first.
Yeah, it gets the ground ball to second baseman right there. Talbot has a hard time getting it out of the glove, but only ends up getting the 1 out regardless of 2 outs in the inning.
So that will bring Zach Millett to the plate now for the Falcons.
Right here, Spence has thrown pitched a phenomenal game so far. See if he can get out of this inning.
First pitch from Spence on the outside edge, strike 1.
Umpire looks like he widened his zone right there. Zach Millett calls time at the plate. Again, down 0-1 right here. Again, down at this point of the game when you're down this big. Again, it's just you have to have the mentality where you just got to find a way on base. I keep saying that over and over again, but regardless, like you have to find a way if you're Canyon View.
Spence sets. The 0-1 pitch. This is up for ball 1 and a 1-1 count.
Yeah, didn't miss by much right there. Spence throwing it well. Must have been a little up.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch from Spence. This is low. Bowerly with the block to hold the runner. Now a 2-1 count. 2 Millett.
You can see Coach Jacobson telling his base runner over there to get a little bigger of a lead than he is.
Two 2-1. Swung on and foul ball out of play. 4 strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Millett. He's 0 for 2 in the game is Millett. He's flown out to left twice, each to end the inning.
Again, if you're Millett right here, 2-2 count, you just got to protect the zone right here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. The pitch from Spence. This is inside for ball 3 and a full count.
That's a good pitch right there for Spence. Brings it to full. Again, Spence has thrown a really, really great game. Let's see if he can get out of this inning right here.
Spence comes set. Number 10 takes the lead at first. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled to the left side as he battles, does Millett.
Again, right here with the full count with 2 outs, you're going to see the runner at first base going, so any ball put in play or any ball in the gap should score him.
Full count again. Runner will take off on the pitch with 2 outs and the full count. The payoff pitch up above the head for ball 4 to Millett. 2 on now for the Falcons.
Good at bat right there for Millett. Brings up Jaron Bradshaw.
Bradshaw, who has reached base each of his last 2 plate appearances. 1 for 1 in the game. He's walked and scored and had a single in the 5th inning.
If you're Coach Stewart and Morgan Trojans, you want to get Bradshaw right here so you don't have to see Trenton Ludlow at the top of the lineup. This inning, you want them to come up with nobody on in the bottom of the 7th.
First pitch misses up, throw down to first. Not in time as Millett dives back safely.
Yeah, good strong throw back to first base right there. The base runner is able to get back in there.
Here's the 1-0. That one's on the inside edge for a called strike 1 and a 1-1 count to Bradshaw.
Yeah, good spot right there to bring back the count to even.
Spends again, sets. There's the 1-1. Swung on, high fly ball into shallow right center field. Coming in is Sheffield, and he makes the play for out number 3. So an F9 for Bradshaw for the 3rd out of the inning. As the Falcons get 2 on, but they do not score. No runs on no hits in the inning. 2 runners left on base. No errors committed by the Trojans. And it's now Morgan 8, Canyon View 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, Sanpete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
I'm Dr. Brandon Beck, and I'm one of the general surgeons at Central Valley Medical Center. One of the best parts of my job as a general surgeon is to interact with a wide variety of people. And many of those people have experienced chronic conditions or painful things for many years. And there is nothing better than helping them to work through those conditions and to have an improved quality of life. I'm happy to be back in Utah at Central Valley Medical Center serving the people in our community.
To the top of the 7th and final inning we go with the Morgan Trojans leading the Canyon View Falcons 8-1 here in this 3A baseball state tournament game at Cape Field at Salt Lake Community College. And a new pitcher for the Falcons, their 4th pitcher of the day. It'll be Jaron Bradshaw who comes on to pitch. They'll put McClellan back at second base, and Zach Main rotates over to play third base for the Falcons. And the Trojans with the 7-run lead will bring it to the plate this inning. The 9, 1, and 2 batters, Triker Jones, Cameron Talbot, and Canyon Leonelli. If they get to the 4th batter, that's Brigham Spence. First pitch from Bradshaw. Gonna miss low, ball 1.
If you're Bradshaw right here, your job is to get back in the dugout, keeping the score where it is. You can't allow Morgan to make the lead bigger. You just got to get back into the dugout.
1-0 pitch. Misses high and away for ball 2, and a hitter's count now for Jones.
Again, if I'm Tracker Jones, a new pitcher hasn't thrown a strike yet, I'm getting up on the plate, making him throw it over the plate.
2-0. That'll miss outside for ball 3.
And Bradshaw just missing off the plate.
3-0 delivery. Out to miss outside. It gets past Calvez. Jones on a sprint to first base. Will hold there with the 4-pitch leadoff walk.
If I'm Coach Stewart, I'm telling my batter Talbot right here, just to continue to just not swing at pitches until Bradshaw proves that he can throw a strike.
Talbot in on the right side. First pitch. That one's right down the middle for strike 1.
And right there, as you see that ball, you see that strike go by, for Bradshaw, that's a big relief. And if you're Talbot, now you go to work. Now you be aggressive on this next fastball you're going to get right here.
Runner takes the lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one will miss outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Again, Bradshaw just yanking the fastball, doing too much with it, throwing it off of the plate.
Here's the 1-1. Ball in the dirt, and it's going to get past Calvez. Not sure what he's looking at the dugout, waving his hand about something to his dugout.
Yeah,
Calvez is.
Yeah, Calvez saying something to his dugout while the ball is in play. I haven't seen that very often. Again, Morgan runner advances to second base, and you can kind of see Calvez getting really frustrated with what's going on in today's ball game.
So a 2-1 count. His runner takes second base in the wild pitch. Next pitch to Talbot. This is outside for ball 3. Hitter's count.
Again, if you're Talbot, still got to be picky right here. Has only thrown 1 strike in the 2 batters Bradshaw's faced.
There's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to the left side. Stays fair. Nope, foul ball.
And you see the home plate umpire call that foul right there. You see Maine, or the third baseman right there, getting up a little limping away a little bit.
Yeah, awkwardly went to backhand that one right over the bag. Counts full now for Talbot as he stands back into the right side. There's the payoff pitch from Bradshaw. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. Fielded at short by Slack. Throw to first is in time for the 6-3 ground out. And Jones moves up a bag to third base for the Trojans with 1 out.
Yeah, it's a productive out right there by Talbot, being able to move the runner over to third. Let's see if Morgan can produce this run right here.
Brings Canyon Leonelli to the plate. He stands in on the right side. 1 out and 1 on. The infield pulled in on the grass for the Falcons. First pitch, right down the middle from Bradshaw, strike 1.
Again, if I'm Leonelli, I don't hate that right there. At 0 count, you're just sitting on 1 pitch. If it's not there, you let it go by. And now it's an 0-1 count. You take a deep breath, get back in there, and go to work.
Bradshaw checks the runner at third. The 0-1 pitch swung on. Foul ball down the right field line for strike 2 and an 0-2 count.
Yeah, I just missed that fastball right there, but Leonelli did. And if you're Bradshaw, you got to come back, try and get this strikeout right here.
So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on here in the top of the 7th. Morgan leading Canyon View 8-1. Well on their way to forcing the if game tomorrow. Next pitch is in the dirt. Blocked by Calvez, at least kept it close.
Yeah, you see Calvez continue to look to his home dugout like he's frustrated at something or something that Coach Jacobson has called. And Calvez just very frustrated.
He'll settle back in behind the dish. Everybody's in on the grass except for Maine. Now he does work his way up at third. Popped to the right side again by Leonelli. Great chase by Anderson, but it lands foul.
Yeah, good chase right there by Anderson going into the slide, but just out of his reach. Stays a 1-2 count.
Bradshaw again sets the 1-2. Curveball just stays up. Calvez with a spin around, wanted the call, didn't get it. 2-2 count.
Yeah, that was really, really, really close. And if you're Bradshaw and Calvez, you clearly want that pitch right there. If you're Calvez, though, you don't want to do something that will really, force the umpire's hand to, we've already seen one ejection happen in the state tournament. You don't want to get thrown out in that right here in this game.
2-2 pitch. That one will miss low for ball 3 and a full count.
Again, if you're Leonelli right here, again, brought it back to full, continue to battle right here. See if you can get on base.
Bradshaw again comes set. Payoff pitch. And that one's going to hit him. So heading to first base on the hit by pitch or ball 4 is Canyon Leonelli. Either way, runners in the corners now for the Trojans with 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Getting a good opportunity right here for Brigham Spence to help himself out, drive a ball, get another run in for his Morgan Trojans ball club.
Throw over to first, not in time as he dives back safely. Spence in on the right side. When Spence comes back out in the 7th to pitch, if he does, he has 15 pitches left.
Another good move right there by Bradshaw.
Leonelli takes the lead at first. First pitch to Spence, in there for a called strike. Throw down to second, not in time as Leonelli takes second base.
Great jump right there by Leonelli to get in there again. Now takes away the double play opportunity for Canyon View, makes it runners on second and third. Gonna see if Spence can come through with a big knock right here to put 2 more runs on the board.
Infield pulled in on the grass again. Called strike 2 on the outside edge to Spence for an 0-2 count.
Good response right there by Bradshaw, getting that strike over. See if you can put Spence away right here.
2 in scoring position. And now he's going to step off the mound. He's going to work his way back into a stretch position. Spence stands in on the right side. Leonelli at second. At third is Jones for Morgan, leading 8-1. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Spence will go down swinging for the second out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Jaron Bradshaw.
Yeah, it's a huge strikeout right there for Bradshaw. Gets 2 outs in the inning. Infield's able to back up and go after this next hitter right here.
So that will bring Ben Harden to the plate. He stands in on the right side. Bradshaw's going to step off as Calvez calls time to go out and visit with the pitcher.
Yeah, going to try and get their signs squared away.
Top 7 here at the 3A Baseball State Tournament. Looks like both brackets will be going to the IF game tomorrow night. We'll have Manti and Union at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. And then Canyon View Morgan will follow at 7 o'clock as long as Morgan's able to hold on for the victory, leading by 7 runs here in the top of the 7th with 2 on and 2 outs. First pitch to Harden in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, Calvez has done a really, really great job behind the plate right there, blocking that ball, blocking balls all throughout the whole ball game.
Harden comes back in on the right side. The 1-0 pitch. Tails away, low and away for ball 2. Hitters count now for Harden.
Again, if you're Harden right here, way up in the count. Again, try and get a ball. You can find a gap, score 2 runs.
The 2-0. Thought about it, held off. Watch the strike 1 go by on the outside half for a 2-1 count.
Again, you're way ahead right there. I like that take. Don't try and force a swing when you're up 2-0.
There's the 2-1 pitch. Misses low for ball 3. Hitters count again for Harden.
And Harden looking really comfortable at the dish right now.
Here's a 3-1. Swung on and fouled back out of play for strike 2. Full count now to Ben Harden.
Again, right there, that was maybe you don't swing at that ball, you get a walk right there, regardless, fouls it off, brings it to a full count. Let's see if Bradshaw can take advantage of that and put him away.
Again, 2 runners on here for the Trojans. Bradshaw takes a sign from Calvez, wants a new one. So he comes set. 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch. Curveball stays up and in for ball 4, and Harden will draw the 2-out walk to load the bases for Luke Bowerly.
And Luke Bowerly, one of the hotter hitters and one of the more dangerous hitters in this Morgan lineup, coming up with a great opportunity to put a bunch of runs on the board.
Came up with the bases loaded last inning and delivered an RBI single to right. First pitch here, fouled back to the screen, strike 1.
It's a great cut right there by Bowerly. Just missed, but tried to put a ball over the wall right there and just missed.
Back in on the left side is Bowerly. With the bases loaded, Bradshaw working from the windup. 0-1 pitch, swung on, bloop to the left side, foul ball down the line for strike 2 and an 0-2 count.
Yeah, foul ball right there, gets jammed a little bit, makes it 0-2 count. Let's see if Bowerly's able to compete. Try and put a ball in play.
Again, the 0-2 from Bradshaw. Curveball misses up. Ball 1.
Yeah, just ball high and away. It's an easy take right there for Bowerly. Again, if you're Bradshaw on an 0-2 count, you don't want to give up an easy pitch, but you want to make it at least a little bit enticing for Bowerly to want to chase.
The 1-2. Swung on, line drive right at Anderson at first base for the out. So an L3 for Bowerly, line out to first for the 3rd out of the inning. The Trojans threaten, but they do not score. No runs on no hits in the inning. No errors committed by Canyonview, and 3 runners left on base through 6.5 innings of play. It's Morgan 8, Canyonview 1 on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
As a parent, you never want to see your child struggling with suicidal thoughts. But today, the threat is hidden deep within their phones. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents, Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk?
We at Centricom want to help every family protect their children. Get Bark protection today from Centricom on unlimited family devices. Visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Embark on your journey to radiant skin with Sam Pete Skin Bar. Whether you are looking to address specific skin concerns, kickstart your skincare routine, or simply indulge in relaxation, we've got you covered. Facials, microneedling, seasonal chemical peels, and more. Located at 210 West Main Street in Mount Pleasant, Utah. Visit our website at sampeteskinbar.com or call or text 435-314-6024 to book your appointment today.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Welcome back here to Salt Lake Community College as we go to the bottom of the 7th and final inning with the Morgan Trojans leading the Canyonview Falcons 8-1 in the 3A Baseball State Tournament. Canyonview brings the top of the order to the plate. Bubba Ludlow, Asher Slack, Cameron Calvez, and if they get to the 4th batter, Brady Anderson. Brigham Spence trying to go the distance for Morgan. He has 15 pitches left coming into this inning. First pitch there to Ludlow, misses high for ball 1.
Yeah, Brigham Spence has thrown a dynamite of a game so far. Trying to close out the Canyonview Falcons and force a game tomorrow night.
So valuable in these tournaments if you can get a pitcher to go the distance. 1-0 pitch. Misses low for ball 2 and a 2-0 count. You can just ask Canyonview as they had Millett go game 1 the distance and Jensen go game 2 the distance. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That'll miss inside for ball 3 to Ludlow.
Absolutely, especially in tournament format as it is right now, is that it's could be a whole week process that you need as many arms as you can to have a kid go a full distance. Very vital to your team.
3-0 curveball stays up and in for ball 4, so a leadoff walk.
Hi, I'm
to Ludlow. He heads the first, and that brings Asher Slack to the plate for the Falcons.
Again, if you're Canyon View, you got to start somewhere, and that's a good start.
So Spence down to 11 pitches as Slack stands in on the right side. First pitch in there for a called strike one.
It's a good pitch right there by Spence in lower part of the zone.
Slack's 0 for 2 in the game, grounded up to short, popped up to short. He also had a sacrifice bump back to the pitcher. The 0-1 misses high and away for ball one.
Again, if you're Asher Slack and the Canyon View Falcons, you don't want to chase any pitches. You want to make sure you make Spence throw all of his pitches.
1-1 pitch is swung on and popped foul to the right side for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes right here. Let's see if Spence can put Asher Slack away.
Ludlow takes a lead at first. Spence out of the stretch. The 1-2 pitch hits him in the back. So 2 on for the Falcons with no outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
You know, that's a tough break for Spence right there. You get him to a 1-2 count, ends up beating him in the back. Makes it 2 runners on with nobody out.
Brings Cameron Calvez to the plate.
Again, if you're Canyon View, you just got to take it 1 at bat at a time.
He's in on the right side. First pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike one.
Yeah, huge cut by Calvez right there, trying to put 3 runs on the board.
He's back in on the right side. The 0-1 from Spence. On the outside edge for a called strike 2 and an 0-2 count.
Yeah, good response by Spence to come back and get a quick 0-2 count. Let's see if Calvez shortens up his swing or he takes another swing for the fences.
The 0-2. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Another big swing from Calvez. Calvez in the game is 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the 3rd. Struck out in the 5th. He walked in the 1st. Here's the 0-2 again. That one misses low for ball 1.
Yeah, good take right there by Calvez. Again, get another pitch you can hit really hard. Again, I don't think he's trying to just put a ball in play. I think he's trying to hit a ball over the fence no matter what the count is.
So a 1-2 count. Spins again, sets. 1-2 pitch. Swung on high. Pop-up will stay in the infield. And Spence will make the catch off the mound for out number 1. So a P1 for Calvez. Pop up to the pitcher for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, huge out right there for Spence right there to get Calvez to pop up. Again, with 2 strikes, if you're Calvez, again, that's the kind of the harm by taking a humongous swing, right? Kind of gets underneath the ball, pops it up to the pitcher. Looks like they're calling out to the bullpen.
Yep, so pitching change possibly coming here. Coach Stewart isn't the one that's gone out there yet. Now he is working his way towards the umpire. Well, they are going to take, I believe, the ball out of Spen's hands as the pitcher comes in from the outfield. So we will take the break for the pitching change. 8-1. Morgan leads at Canyon View. Falcons have 2 on here in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. Pitching change for the Trojans when we come back on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
For more than 3 decades, the Intermountain Power Project has served as a model of regional energy cooperation, generating and transmitting coal-fueled electricity to a diverse group of municipal utilities and rural electric cooperatives with operations across 6 U.S. states. Now Intermountain Power is expanding its role as a regional energy hub, including utilizing renewable energy resources. Intermountain Power is proud to support and invest in our central Utah communities. Visit ipautah.com to learn more about IPP Renewed.
Back here at Salt Lake Community College, a pitching change for the Morgan Trojans. They try to secure the victory here, leading Canyon View 8-1. Riker Moser comes into the game. Brigham Spence left to a standing ovation from the Morgan crowd, and a well-deserved ovation as he really pitched lights out for 6 1/3 innings, giving up just 1 run to the Falcons.
Yeah, very, very well-deserved. Again, the senior only throwing 14 1/3 innings coming into the start and absolutely dominates the Canyon View Falcons. And, again, round of applause, very well-deserved for the senior.
So Riker Moser comes in. He's already thrown 6 pitches today. He did against Emory earlier, so that counts for his day total coming into this game. And he will face Brady Anderson first, runners at first and second, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch, right down the middle, strike 1.
Yeah, good pitch right there by the Morgan reliever, starting with strike 1.
For Canyon View, they've got Bubba Ludlow at second, Asher Slack at first, trailing 8-1. The 0-1 from Moser, swung on, high pop-up, will stay in the infield. Calling for it at first base is Hardin, and he makes the play for out number 2, so a P3 for Anderson for the 2nd out of the inning. And the Falcons are down to their last out tonight.
Yeah, Morgan 1 out away from forcing a game tomorrow. What a game for the Morgan Trojans.
Zach Main comes to the plate now for the Falcons. Yeah, the Trojans had a thrilling come-from-behind win over Emory, winning on a walk-off hit earlier today, called strike 1 to Maine for the 0-1 count. And now they've really put it on Canyon View here in their 2nd game of the day.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Stepping off the mound is Moser to look Ludlow back to second. Nobody's holding him on, so Ludlow's getting a huge lead.
Yeah, if you're Coach Stewart, you're trying to get Moser just to go after the batters right here. You don't really care about Ludlow. His run doesn't really matter much. You're just trying to get the outs.
0-1 pitch, swung on, ground ball to the left side, through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. Ludlow rounds third, gets the stop sign as Jones was up ready to throw. Bases are loaded now for the Falcons with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, good pitch hitting for the Canyon View Falcons right there. Makes it bases loaded with 2 outs.
Zach Main loads the bases for Chandler McClellan. He stands in on the right side. Moser sets, first pitch. Curveball misses up for ball 1.
Again, if you're Moser right here, just got to attack the zones and make McClellan put a ball in play.
The 1-0 pitch. High fly ball into shallow left. Going back is Talbot. Coming in is Jones, and Talbot makes the catch as he goes to the ground for the final out of the game. A P6 for McClellan to wrap this one up as Morgan gets the 8-1 win over Canyon View and forces the IF game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against the Falcons. We'll take the break and come back with our post-game show next here from Salt Lake Community College on TeamHive.live and KSL Sports.